Vamos! Welcome to the Spanish Grand Prix. Hello everyone, I'm back in the comms box. And sadly, I missed Brabbitt's first Grand Prix win on Sunday, which I am devastated by because well, I always seem to miss first people's Grand Prix wins because I think that it's been a lot. Oh gosh, for some reason I had a warning there that my mic wasn't working. Shocking. Right, so yes, congratulations to Brabbit then. Really good stuff indeed. But what it does mean though in gold then, we shall talk more about gold on Sunday, is that the championship is looking dominated, but not for Soundsurf Ninja. It's for someone else there. Shocking stuff indeed. By the way, thank you very much then to Susie Deemer a new subscriber, actually, in the last 7 days, which of course it would have been this week, but sorry, this time last week. But someone broke YouTube. Can't blame me though. I never break anything. But yes, it is a scene for the round number 6 of the championship. It is Spain. No wild cards tonight, then, so it's a 66 lap Grand Prix. Cannot wait for that and all that jazz. Let's go. Good luck, everyone. Says Goku, who had a bit of a run-in with reflections last night. Lego says Knowles dead. I always do well when Ginge is when Ginge isn't here. That's my race. Always says Serious Mushroom. I am here. I'm here in spirit. Well, I'm here on me poof at the moment. We've also got Coops Vamos, which is the. Oh, I read that earlier, didn't I? Good luck, you tarts. JVDA then said, "Hi everyone. Ginger is commentating. I absolutely am so sorry for that. Yeah, Luke is on holiday. How dare he? So we're back next week then. And I gotta say, I'm a little envious of Luke next week because it's Silverstone reverse, and I'm really looking forward to that one. Not looking forward to racing it because I can't even go around the proper way around the track, so that's going to be fun, isn't it? Let's go for the drivers and the constructors, and then we'll talk about the driver changes as well that have come into fruition over the last couple of weeks. Equals leads the championship by 48 points, and that's over a Grand Prix win and the fastest lap. Pretty impressive stuff indeed, even with the points. Change all that kind of stuff. Sadly, we've lost the Ferrari again by looks. That's not cool. Reflection second at the moment. Then, of course, doing a good job in the Mercedes with the Legends in third position, 55 points adrift to the championship leader so far on 78 points. 66 for Jenner in the Williams. Then we got Lucas Purser dominating, absolutely dominating performance last time out in Bahrain. And that win has elevated him right up into the top 5, and good stuff indeed. And then we've got Marsky on 63 points, 55 for Coop, as in soup, good stuff. 49 points for R2 Beat, who's also back from his holidays, good stuff. The Kiki also on 49 points, 46 for Vessier, that's the top 10. And then 11th position is Knowles on 41 points, 40 points for Mark, and Camaracer on 35, 30 for Serious Mushroom, 22 for Styles, 19 for Vintage, Riley on 13. Then we got 12 for Justified, 12 for Jay Hings, and 800 points for Ginger Rage. Good stuff. In the Constructors' Championship, Haas leads 211 points, 77 points in front of the Williams team. Kick Sauber in third position, then 105 points, 85 points for the Mercedes, 84 points for the Alpine. Then we have got Racing Bulls on the 78 points, 75 points for Ferrari, 56 points for Aston Martin, McLaren on 41, Red Bull 38, but that's down to Mushroom and not his teammate then. 19 cars look to be on the grid. Mad Max will be driving in the Williams car, so that's going to be good stuff indeed there for Mad Max. So we've got some driver changes as well then from last week to this week. I got to lean forward a bit because I haven't got my specs on. Lewis Riley has now been promoted to the Aston Martin team. He has been the super sub for the Alpine team for the last 3 weeks, doing some really good performances indeed. Then we're getting I think 13 points in that time indeed. Then yeah, it was 13 points. Good stuff, Sean. Well done. And then of course, and we've also got Jay Hings, who has gone from the Aston Martin team to the Mercedes team as well to partner Reflections, who Reflections is second in the World Championship there. Ooh. I'm knackered already. I don't know about you guys. Goodness me. But anyway, and I've also had a can of Monster as well, so I'm going to probably be weeing quite a lot tonight as well. We've got a long show ahead of us, ladies and gentlemen, then, so I hope you're all settled in. I hope you've got your crisps and all that kind of stuff, as we're about to get going then for the start of round 6 of the championship here in Spain then. Of course, we are about, are we about a quarter of the way through the championship, third away from the championship? At the moment, then, the former champion is really doing a good job at the moment, though, isn't he? Of Equals. It is Equals, isn't it, leading the championship? Hang on, I've forgotten who it was now. Lovely sunshine out there. It is Equals, and of course, champion from season 3. Good stuff indeed there for Equals. Kind of become the first ever double champion in the event league. Not 100%, of course. Good stuff indeed. We've also got a super sub in tonight in the Alpine machine, and that is hello there, is that Housley? I think it's Housley. Torre, who's also jumped in to. I think that's a reserve driver, isn't it, Torre? I apologise. Good stuff indeed. Then shock it. Right. we're on with the show, and we got a Ferrari out there straight from the get-go. Unfortunately, Justify is not as it's such a shame because Justify got an incredible pole position in the opening race, and then he got and then I think in Saudi Arabia he got a decent sixth position, but I think he's letting the Ferrari team down at the moment, but that's just me. Right, whoa, kick to win the Spanish Grand Prix, not me. Evening, lads. Good evening to Adam Hills and Great 17. Then Adam Hills will be a part of the broadcast tonight, which is Great 17. 18 minutes in this qualifying session, and lovely sunshine here in Spain. I don't know what the weather forecast is going to be like in the actual Grand Prix, but which I think makes it quite intriguing indeed. Then I wouldn't mind to see a bit of rain, to be honest. Of course, the most historical wet Spanish Grand Prix was, of course, the '96 Spanish Grand Prix, where one Michael Schumacher won his first race in the Scuderia Ferrari. Can we see Marvsky win his first ever race in the 100% championship, which I think's about right, isn't it? Hang on, let me get my old book up. Am I right? I am. Oh, thank goodness for that, because I thought I was wrong there. But it does have 69 points so far. Nice for Marski. But of course, his best result in this event format is second position there. So can he go one better tonight and win the Spanish Grand Prix? R2B, good luck or good evening to you, R2B. Then great to see R2B back in the cockpit. Of course, has been on his travels, has been on enjoying his holidays, coming down the start-finish straight for modern circuit, and it's very unusual to have such a long start-finish straight, isn't it? Here in Spain, and is Spain even on the calendar in 2026? I think it is, isn't it? Of course, we do have the Mad Ring, which is also coming in as well, which should be, I must admit, I quite like it. I'm probably not the. I'm probably going to be in the minority there. But I quite like it. I like the bank turn 8, to be honest. It looks pretty cool. But still, it's another street circuit, which I think, isn't it now 7-8 street circuits in the calendar? That's far too many. Personally, of course, I think that we should keep it down to about 5-4. You shouldn't really have that many street circuits on a Formula 1 calendar, in my opinion. Madrid is coming, and of course looks good. It does. Alexander says it does look good. Oh, that don't look good. R2 then saying good luck all, but unfortunately I think he hasn't wished himself good luck, as that's not ideal at all. Here comes Marsky then, coming out of turn 12 and then into 13 and 14, but he's invalidated his time there. Aston Martin in the background, and goodness me, I'm going to take a base of action there. I've got the wrong Aston Martin. That's not ideal, is it? And it is Vessier goes fast, said. Of course, Vessier with a new teammate tonight. So how's he going to stack up then? Vessier making his 7th Grand Prix start. Yeah, it is a 7th Grand Prix start, and of course he did have 2 races. The dual races of Saudi Arabia and Azerbaijan. I got myself very confused there, but Vessier fastest. Mad Max about half a second behind, 5/10 second behind then in second position in the Williams machine there. There are so much better tracks. Love a street circuit, says Nosy. Street circuit again, it says Goku. Reflections fast, second in the World Championship at the moment. Yeah, I think less. I don't mind a couple of street circuits now and again, but there's too many now, isn't there, in my humble opinion. But having said that, I must admit I was very against the Las Vegas Grand Prix. That turned out to be pretty good, to be fair. So it just shows what I know, to be fair, doesn't it? Legends goes third fastest in the Haasford in the World Championship, of course, then coming down the hill then. To be honest, as much I do look back with great fond memories of the 2026, of course, that was peak ALR, but not only that, of course, it was also peak F1 going back to old school circuits like Mugello. I'd love to see Mugello on a Formula 1 game. That would have been perfecto. There is Coop, who is about 400 a second behind his standing teammate there, which is not ideal, is it? Because, of course, Coop would not want to be overshadowed. Liam has already retired from the session, and that's not ideal for the Red Bull, who is he's my super sub tonight, so come on Liam, I want a better performance please. Marsky has done a 30 flat, which is about the time I'll be doing if I was out there. Qual's the championship leader, currently 5th at the moment then. I'm going to get lapped so many times tonight, says Halsey then. Don't worry, Halsey, it wouldn't have been as many times as me, which is why I have volunteered very happily to be in the comms box. And of course, I'm not really a competitor. I'm only here to make up the numbers. Jay Hings in his new environment for the Mercedes team now, 12 minutes ago in this qualifying session. Reflections for pole, says Goku. as it comes over turn 9. Of course, we call it Cox Corner because Jonathan Cox, a former Grand Prix racer in ALR, I think third position in the championship and a Grand Prix winner as well, had a humongous crash there in his 50th Grand Prix start. R2B, can I get a new invite? Yes. How do I do that? Here we go. Now this is going to get interesting, isn't it? Where's R2B? To be honest, I don't know. Do I even invite that way? Hang on. Goodness gracious me, Sean. I gotta be honest, if I had a brain, I'd be dangerous, wouldn't I? So there's R2B. Hang on a minute. You would think that I play this game quite a lot. I should actually know how to invite someone. There we go. Good stuff indeed there. Gosh, look at how cool I am with all me with all. Where is he? Hang on. What's R2B's proper? It is R2B. So why can't I find him? Are you back in the session, R2B, or am I still waffling away? Hang on a minute. This is bad. I apologise. Oh, someone's been my friend. Accept. Great stuff. Right, where's R2B then? Whilst I'm waffling away here. Am I missing him? Maybe R2B is not my friend on here. Well, I'm hurt. I am absolutely hurt. Brutal stuff indeed. Right then. Maybe I should just invite him from my friends list, perhaps then. Right then. Shocking stuff indeed. I know technology and all that jazz. But what could I say? Right then. Oh, where is he? Well, this is going really well, isn't it? Wow. Where are you? RGB, you not my friend? I'm really hurt. I'm absolutely hurt. Is EA maybe different? Says how's it then? I will get as far from reflection, so I'm safe. Haha, says Goku. Yes, of course. Sadly, reflections. I've lost my headset now. Reflections and what's his name? Gosh, I'm all out of sync. I think I'm back in. Oh, good stuff indeed. Because that was an absolute failure for me, wasn't it? Knowlesy currently 11 faster than their Vintage has gone at 12 faster than the McLaren. Of course, Hungry Stars and Reflections did have a bit of a coming together earlier on. Whilst I was waffling on with that, Reflections has gone fastest so far. It's good stuff indeed. Do your commentary. We know we are friends, says RGB. Thank goodness for that. Because I was actually worried there. I was going to be spamming you with a lot of friend requests by the end of this one. Just watching Riley. Love that. I must admit, I do like the hammer designs this season, and of course, and hopefully it'll get better and better as well. One thing that I am thinking of or wanting to know is, are we going to get that beautiful chrome McLaren like we had in silver? Riley goes 8 fastest as an all Aston Martin row 4. Good stuff indeed there for Riley. They're matching his teammate Vessier, and that is a pretty impressive start for Riley then, because I think that Vessier might be a bit concerned that his teammate's on the pace right from the get-go. And here is the McLaren. It's at the chrome. It's not the chrome McLaren. Reflections has gone faster. I don't know. You get the chrome McLaren. Reflections has gone faster by 0.2 of a second. And it's a Mercedes 1-2 with Jay Hings on the front row of the grid. Kiki has just gone third at the moment. Lucas Percy, the man who won last time out, in 4th position. It's available, the McLaren, says Halsey. I'd love to know how to get it. Maybe I should just probably read the menu. Mad Max goes 5th fastest there. When we got Equals, who's 6th, 7th position. Let's say it's a quarter of a second up in the front. Less than a quarter of a second up. He's on 10th of a second up in the first sector. A yellow flag at Cox Corner. Legends there coming down into turn 5. Vessier is coming into the pits there. What about Coupe? Across the line and goes about just under half a second quicker than his previous best, which, look at that, Aston Martins, we're on the 4th row. Now they've been displaced there in the last couple of seconds or so. Marsky's invalidated his time. Reflections is trying to improve for probably the best helmets on the grid, in my opinion. Serious Worship, not on my friends list. Pim, I was trying to invite you. On a good note, I invited Keza by mistake then, so we might see Keza back in. We haven't seen Keza race, I think it's since round 2 in Japan. Of course, Keza then I decided to take a break from Grand Prix racing. I think Kiki's improved ever so slightly to go third fastest there. Well, he's third already, but improved his time, but his position is still third. Legends has just gone up into fourth at the moment now. Just watching R2B powering through turn 3 and up into turn 4. Of course, infamous for the Mercedes clashing back in 2016, which, gotta say, does not feel like almost 10 years ago, which really breaks my heart because I'm getting too old for this. Out of turn 5 there for R2B, and of course, very kinky turn. So I don't think it's even a turn, is it? Here's 6 and I think that's 7 and 8 then out of fourth curve. Of course, it's far from what I call it fourth curve because I'm sure he crashed there quite funnily a few seasons ago. Then I do love to bring up Favre's treasured memories of the Grand Prix racing. R2 beat currently 14th on the grid then. So R2 beat then as he's coming into the Alpine machine, and of course this is his third Grand Prix start. He has not raced since China's in this format then, so might be a bit of rust there for R2B. He did return in silver earlier on this week across the line and up into 8th position. No rust at all from R2B. I wish I could say the same, but there's a lot of rust on me tin hat there. Kiki coming into the pits now. We have got Knowlesy out on circuit at 1700 a second up in the first sector time. Here comes Alexander then through Cox Corner. DRS right on the money then. And you can see that he is in overtake now. What's the second sector time? It's just over a quarter of a second up then. Good stuff indeed there for Alexander. Lovely stuff. Mushroom go up? No. Why? I think the Mushroom, of course, Mushroom's very shy of qualified. Is it Tori out on circuit? Tori in the Racing Bulls. And where is Tori gone? Oh my goodness me! And Knowlesy has done an Andrea Montermini there and crashed into the barrier. Did he do that? I think he did in the Simtech, didn't he, in 94? Who else crashed? Damon Hill also crashed there in 96 as well. In that rain-soaked Spanish Grand Prix, probably one of the best races you will ever see from Michael Schumacher. He was incredible, wasn't he? Damon Hill, while Schumacher had an incredible race, Damon Hill had probably one of the worst races, certainly that season, then, didn't he? Well, maybe, or was it the Italian Grand Prix as well, where they had those tyre stacks, didn't they? And Hill clattered one, didn't he, and retired from the race there, especially when he's under pressure about whether he was going to remain in Williams or not. And of course, unfortunately, as we know now, Heinz-Harald Frentzen stole his seat. Ironically, they became teammates in 99, didn't they, in Damon Hill's final season? Tori currently going 11 fastest at the moment there. Sean wasn't here then. Have you? You have a great pace around here. You showed it yesterday in P2. Sean wasn't here. Yeah. How great was special. I read the comments while we were up there. No, I was. To be honest, actually, I think I was. Where was I? I was in bed actually. To be fair. Shocking stuff indeed. To be honest, I should have offered to commentate last night, shouldn't I, really? As I was Skyping Sunday and Monday. R2 beat out on circuit, then going through Cox Corner, turn 9. Cox Corner as well, and DRS. We've got a new bridge down here. Look at that, that's a beautiful new bridge, isn't it? Sky Sports was there for most of the broadcast, wasn't they, when they're here in Spain? 10th for a second up then in the second split time format. It's going to this qualifying session. I prefer this configuration of circuit. Of course, they did have the Mickey Mouse chicane from 2007 up until recently, and of course they also had they've also returned back to the original format of turn 10, I believe. R2B across the line, and that's going to second fastest. Goodness gracious me, that's fantastic for R2B, but it is not enough for pole position just yet, as I like to raid on this parade. Percy's found 2/10 a second in the second sector in the kick salvage. Look at this, and he is kicking it out of the final turn. And it goes second fastest and displaces R2B by the minutest of margins there. Incredible stuff indeed there for a person who's on the who's on the front row of the grid there. Qual's the championship leader in a bit of peril there with 3 minutes to go in this qualifying session there. Who put that last corner there, says Knowlesy. To be honest, I don't actually know, to be fair, because I don't know the track designer was from me, so if anyone can help me out, that'd be fantastic. Here comes Halsey, who is down into turn 10, and I apologise profusely if I'm saying your name wrong. It's great to have we had a lot of debutantes in silver, didn't we, earlier on this week? It's great stuff indeed. And a lot of, I think, and gold and silver, didn't we? So there's a lot of new names that are starting to float about now in Grand Prix racing, and here's one of them then. Of course, Halsey has been a reserve in the last 2 weeks, so it's great stuff indeed. Then can and Halsey goes 16 faster than the Alpine. Currently slowest time runner so far, but it's not where you get points in qualified as you get points in the race there. And that might be one rule for Percy and Coop to think about. Having said that, let's just say that my ideas are never very good, because there's always a major con to anything that I think sounds pretty cool. Into the pits now comes Equals, and so Equals has got a bit of it's got a bit of time then to play with, so to speak then. Vessier has backed off on this lap. What about Marsky then? Because Ferrari started off so well this season. It's gone a bit downhill now, and sadly for Ferrari, they've kind of been racing with just one car as of late. Then, of course, Justify not here tonight. I don't know if, I'm sure that Justify was expected to turn up as well, because I think that the admins are expecting them, sorry, the race stewards are expecting them. Marsky, just under a 10th of a second up in the first sector time. Oh, I've got indigestion, that's not good. Now into turn 5. Into 6 and 7, and this is where Farf crashed a couple of seasons ago, which is quite funny. Of course, also I'd like to mention Farf crashing into the pit lane, but having said that, you can't make too much fun of Farf there, because even the greatest driver of all time, David Coulthard, did that in the Australian Grand Prix of '95 in Adelaide. And let's be honest about it, Coulthard is the greatest thing, and he's the reason why Red Bull was 4-time champions. What? What's that? I smell. Here comes Marsky into turn 12, into turn 30 as well. I love this final 2 turns. It's incredible, isn't it? Look at the commitment from the Ferrari driver across the line. Then how's this? This is in the top 10 there for Marsky. 1 minute to go this qualifying session. Haven't got enough on the clock, unfortunately, to harvest and come back out again. To harvest and go for another lap. He may not have had enough fuel either for Marsky, but Ferrari does not look like they're on the front foot here. What about the second sector for Vessier? He's had a bit of a pretty disappointing second sector. It's not even a personal best there for Vessier. Unfortunately, then, I think that's Vessier's best performance in the qualifying, done and dusted. Unless he can do a lot of harvesting, I don't think he can there, as Vessier is going to give it a go. Let's see how much then. He's got quite a lot of deployment there, but he's gone wide. Reflections on pole by a 12.777. The Legends coming across the line. Equals also out there as well. Kiki, 10th for a second up in the first intermediate split time. Jay Hings there is attacking turn 5. R2B is starting this up. The Percy then, who I think is on an outlap. He is then, you know, Vessier, but it's Reflections pole position currently so far. He is the man at the moment. He's been on pole position twice this season in Japan and Saudi Arabia. Can he get a hat-trick of pole positions here this season? Well, that remains to be seen. I am looking for the other Mercedes of Jay Hings, 7300 second up in the second sector time now. Into turn 12, long left right hand, and then actually that's turn 11. Here's turn 12, and hold on to the pads, folks, and now into turn 13. Now Williams behind, it's got a lovely slipstream, but the dirty air though, it's going to really harm it. Jay Hings second fastest there, and Koopas and Soup goes 5th fastest, but it's the front row of the grid. No, it's not. Kiki has got pole position there for the Racing Bull on a 12.663. That's a mega lap from Kiki. Fantastic stuff indeed. Equals is improving in the second sector. It's not enough for pole position, I don't think that. Legends comes across the line, and that's decent enough. Nosey goes 14 fast at the moment. I'm looking for R2B goes 4 fast. I'm looking for Equals. Equals, there he is, just under a 10th for a second improvement. But what about the championship leader? What can he do? Riley goes 8 fast. Equals stays 9th there. My word. That is what be a disappointment there. Reflections there. It's just finished off as Percy only 3rd fastest there. I say only 3rd fastest. That's pretty good, decent something. And what about Vessier? Vessier is no, that's Kiki. Who's Vessier? Where's Vessier? I think Vessier's not finishing his lap there. It is Kiki. Do you love me? He's on pole position then for the Spanish Grand Prix. Fantastic. That's his first pole position of the season there for Kiki. I don't think that's the first one of his career though in this format, because I think Kiki has had, that's his 10th pole position. Fantastic. Kiki pole position for the 10th time in 53 qualifying attempts in this format. Great stuff indeed there. So that's a pole position almost won every 5 races in this format for Kiki. Brilliant stuff indeed. Mega stuff. Right, let me update my spreadsheet before I forget. Right, so yes, indeed, good 17 there for the Racing Bull. Good 17 there for Kiki as well. That's Racing Bull's first time on pole position in the event league as well. So great stuff indeed there. Peter, no, it's not Peter Petroma, isn't it? Is it Peter Bayer? Maybe. Or is it Alan Permain now? Goodness me, I cannot keep up. Kiki pole position by over a tenth of a second there. Reflection second. Percy in third position there with Jay Hings in fourth. Good stuff there for Jay Hings. Mercedes look very strong at this moment. Fifth is R2B with Legend in sixth. Coop, Riley, seventh and eighth position. Equals and Mad Max. Good stuff in the Williams in ninth and tenth position there. Teams that look very good at the moment. The Mercedes team. Haas there, only down in sixth and ninth position there for the Constructors' Championship leaders there. But Williams there only scoring one car tonight. Only scoring one car tonight, and that is Coop then. So that might give an advantage there. Extended their Constructors' Championship, maybe. I love you. Thank you very much. We've also got, maybe my EA name is different. Need to figure that out, says RTP. I reckon you've blocked me. To be honest, having said that, I was actually skimming through quite quickly because I was in a bit of a panic, and I also get very shy when I want to show my dashboard. Here we are in the pit lane, and oh, lovely stuff indeed. There no wild cards tonight, then, so this is a straightforward race. I don't think that's the best way to say it, is it? It's not a straightforward race. This is a Grand Prix, isn't it? I think Grand Prix in French means grand prize, doesn't it, or something like that? Of course, a rich history of F1 of Grand Prix races that over the years. Sure, I can sit and talk about F1 history forever and a day. One thing that I'm really interested in at the moment is I've started watching like series about the 80s and stuff like that. I've started off on 1981 because I wanted to learn more about the turbo era, the original turbo era of Formula One there. So that'll be quite interesting indeed. So on Sunday, what am I going to be talking about, ladies and gentlemen? A load of tosh. Good stuff. But also, I'm hoping to be very happy indeed there, because I think that football's finally back as well. It's the Community Shield, which is good stuff indeed, whereas Liverpool against Crystal Palace, which I cannot wait as well. Albeit, let's be honest about it, Crystal Palace should be in the Europa League, shouldn't they, this year? But let's be honest, it's not a football channel, and I'm not going to rage about it because I've got to get on with the show. 19 cars on circuit then, and we got Kiki on pole position for the 10th time of his career. Not 10th time overall, not 10th time in Grand Prix racing, 10th time in the event. A reflection alongside Monroe, and this is a golden opportunity reflection with championship leader Equels down in 9th position. Good stuff. But the problem is, though, he's got a very fast and hard charge in Lucas Percy with 4 points last time out in Bahrain. 31 points there. Win gets 30 points there. Fast lap gets 1 point as well. The full shebang there for Percy. And to be honest, I think he probably could have had an extra pit stop and still won that race. Jay Hings in 4th position there. Jay Hings has had a bit of a difficult season so far. Only 12 points on the board, albeit he has scored in the last 2 races there for Jay Hings. But right up in 4th position now. R2 beat in 5th position. Legend in 6 is for the championship there. Of course, it's far too early for team orders at the moment, though, isn't it? And then we've got a lot of weaving there. Of course, as much as it looks like they're having fun, they got to get some tire temperature into those 4 wheels. Riley in 8th position. Great to see Riley getting a full-time placement in at the event league there, because I think Riley has raced in every race apart from China and Japan there. Good stuff indeed. Equals championship leader at 9th. Love the helmet. 10th position, Mad Max. Great stuff indeed there for Mad Max. Love of course, in the Williams, he's enjoyed himself. Marsley down in them finish there. Vessier on soft tyres, and so the first drivers to go a bit different on tyre strategy, and it is the Aston Martin down in 12th position there. I'm wondering if that's because of a poor qualifying performance in the Aston Martin, where they was expecting a bit higher up there. Toria reserve driver in 13th for the Racing Bull. Sadly for Racing Bulls, they will not be eligible for points for Tori's point of view anyway. 13th position there. Knowlesy, the second driver on the soft compound tyre. And then we got Vintage in 15th, who is in the McLaren there. No chrome, unfortunately, there, so I am devastated. I'm going to sit back down. Halsey in 16th position there with Hungry Stars in 17th, and a rich run of 400 stars. This is the best form of his career in Grand Prix racing. I think so. there was a period in, I think it was at 2023, where Styles was fantastic. But unfortunately, he did come a cropper a couple of times, especially in Imola, I remember. Liam and Cirrus Merchant completes the 19 cars on the grid. It's a Red Bull back row-ish. And it was hard tires, I think, for Liam then, as the lights are going to come on then. 4 sets of lights are on, 5 sets of lights are on. Here we go! And it's a run down into turn 1 there. Kiki gets away nicely. Reflections all over the gearbox. Reflections on a great tires, on a great lift off into turn 1 there. Oh, there's contact there. We've won the Mercedes. It's a terrible start for Jay Hings. A magnificent start for the championship leader, Equelsa, as they go through turn 3. Lucas Percy on the outside here. There he goes. And but Percy has to get back into line there because he has not been able to get past. Equelsa in 5th position. Legends in 6th position. Get all tight in the midfield in 7th. There's a car off. Who's that off? Someone's off and into the gravel. I didn't see who it was. There was an Alpine there who's dropped right to the back of the field. Tari's also down at the back of the field as well. Styles and Coop. Coop's had a horrific start as well. I said Jay Hings had a poor start. Coop has had a horrific start. Down into 14th position in the Williams machine now. And going to the Cox corner now. Kiki leads by 8 tenths of a second, and DRS will be up. Oh my goodness me, where's that McLaren off to? That's vintage there, goodness gracious me. Going to the Mad Ring a bit too early there. On board with Percy, there's fighting with R2B. R2B on the inside there, but Percy having to take a base of action now. And keeping the Alpine in bay. Yeah, Mad Max, oh no, and Mad Max is out of the race. Where is he? Oh, he's gone off. That's to be honest, that used to be quite a hot spot for crashing back in the older games where it was a bit of a chicane there. But Mad Max out of the Grand Prix and that incredible qualifying has come to nothing there. And we've got a full course caution here. I think it's just a VSC then. Let's take a look. There's no safety car out, so it's a VSC, a full caution there. Anyone who is might be a fan of IndyCar or World Endurance and all that kind of jazz then. So, Equals at 4th position, fantastic start indeed there for the Haas car, and that is not music to the ears or eyes of Equals, Reflections there, who was hoping to really take a big bite out of his championship protagonist, out of his championship rival here. But unfortunately that's not the case then. So sadly then Mad Max out of the race then. What a start, what a qualifying for Mad Max there, but it's all come to nothing now. It's all finished before it's really got going in this Spanish Grand Prix, sadly. Soft tyres has worked very well for Vessier. Knowlesy is so-so unfortunately. Liam on the hard tyre, the only driver on the hard tyre. And in terms of strategy, is this a straightforward one-stopper? Are we racing again? I don't think we are yet. I don't think it's a straightforward. Now we're green, so no one's got any. Oh, we got. Oh, look, it's the two. Look, the two Haas's are going side by side. Equans has got the inside into turn 11 now. Legend is going to go on the outside. Is it? No, because Equans gets the racing line there and keeps track position there. That could be crucial. So that just shows there's no team orders in the Haas. And why should there be? We're only on round number 6 or 7 of the World Championship there, so of course they ain't going to be doing team orders just yet. Of course, DRS has now been enabled once again. Of course, there is no safety cars. Percy almost into the gearbox of the Mercedes, but Kiki would like to have got out of DRS there, but I think that VSC has not been helpful there at all. Stars up to 11th position there. Stars is in a great form. Knowlesy is under the cosh here from the McLaren and from Cirrus Mercer as well. Marsky's lost out because Stars is up into the top 10 there. Cirrus Mercer's over the 40th position. Vintage has dropped down into 5th position. It's the top 15 that gets points out in this one there. Riley, the two Aston Martins, the two new teammates are going side by side into turn 5. Riley has kept the position, has he? No, because Vescher's on the outside and keeps the position there. Remember, this is a new rivalry, of course, and Vescher on the soft tyres, of course. This is a new rivalry because they got new teammates now, haven't they, as they come out of turn 9. And that Mercedes of Jay Hings there is going to be feeling the brunt of Vessier, because look at how much Vessier gained on that short straight there. That Ferrari trying to go on the inside of Styles there. That's Marsky, I think, trying to reclaim the place that Styles stole from him earlier on this lap there. But he's got to watch out because Coop is now all over the gearbox of the Ferrari. Into turn, on board now, into turn 12, into turn 13 as well. Lap 3 complete, lap 4 completed, I should say. Look at those passes upside, they're tumbling these fast laps are tumbling like a fruit machine here. And Vessier takes, no, it isn't, it's Kiki takes the lead, gets past, Reflection takes the lead, gets past Kiki, moves himself, and, on the inside goes Lucas Percy, incredible, but look at this, and it's like going side by side, let's get that graphic up and into turn 4, Kiki's gone deep, on the inside, Percy takes the position, Kiki has lost out majorly there, but he is still in third position mode. Love this show. Look at this. This is basically birds basically eye level of Kiki. Exactly what he's seeing on the circle at the moment there. And what he doesn't want to see is that kick salver just in front of us now then. So that is not ideal. Coop all over the gearbox of Marsky. Marsky's gone wide into 6 and 7 now. Marsky cuts across now. Coop has and Soup then trying to go up and under. Then can it go up and under? Not quite, but he does have DRS then into turn 10 as well. And look at that. He powers past and Marsky dropping him down. That's 2 positions he's lost in the last couple of laps here in Spain. Heavens above there. Oh my word, and what an incredible start here. So everyone is currently in DRS range at the moment there. So can Reflection, who took the lead there, now he's going to have to repel the attack of Percy after that incredible Grand Prix win last time out there. Percy's in a rich run of form, but Kiki, who got his 10th pole position earlier on in this session there, wants to get back up in his second position there. And I'm wondering then if, as I look at this, and now here comes Stars. He is incredible, isn't he, Stars? But Riley there is not going to wave the McLaren through yet, is he? But I do feel that Stars once again now is really starting to come on song in this championship, like he's doing in bronze now. Stars is starting to really perform and really find his feet in this McLaren Mercedes, and that is great to see. Not great to see for his rivals, including me. So this time next week, I'm going to be lambasting Styles for being too quick. Then on board with Styles once again. He's all over the back of the Aston Martin, but he's going to have to keep that position just for the time being. So, up until Coop, everyone is in DRS range. Coop is about a tenth of a second out there, so he needs to probably use a bit of deployment out of that battery then, and now he's in DRS, so that's important over the start-finish line and going down into turn number 1 there. Only one retirement so far. That was Mad Max out of the Grand Prix. Sadly, he might be a bit mad, to be honest. We did not see what happened there. Whether that was his own making or whether there was some issues that remains to be seen. Across the line then, as we've got 60 more laps to go out of this 66 Grand Prix. That's a bad omen, isn't it? Goodness me, a lot of sixes there in that top left-hand corner. I'll get rid of that, I think, because goodness me, it's making me shudder. Liam's got a 3-second penalty. That's going to make Liam shudder on those hard tires. The hard tires are not performing at all well at this moment, is it? Serious Mushroom is now through past Marsky up to 12th position. Marsky down to 30th position. Vintage getting past Knowlesy with the soft tire starting to fall off there for Knowlesy already there. That's not ideal at all. Is it back on board with Stars? He would like to have probably got past the Aston Martin down the start-finish straight, but the Aston Martin of Riley done a good job there. I say that the soft tires might be struggling, but Vassier is still going in forward motion. He hasn't overtaken anyone since his teammate in the last couple of laps or so, but I think that Vassier is still doing, still not dropping off the pace so much. On board the Grand Prix leader, and look at how good it feels like. That's a clean pair of heels that he's giving the rest of his field at the moment there. And also look at in front there. I think that's exactly what you want to see in the Spanish Grand Prix, because there's a lot of dirty air of these cars, and of course these cars were meant to help overtake it, but of course the engineers are just so clever, isn't they? Going back a lot of the downforce, which means more dirty air, doesn't it? And around this circuit, that is going to be quite painful indeed. Then, of course, one of the, I think it was a 2013 Spanish Grand Prix, was particularly brutal for tyre wear. I think that we had 6 stops in the end, didn't we? Knowlesy is in the pits after only 5 laps. That soft tyre gamble has not worked out at all. I'd say it's not worked out at all. We're only on lap 7 there, Sean. I think that you might have to rein that in a bit there. Let's see how the strategy unfolds. And of course, this is not a sprint. This is a race, and it's double the length of a Grand Prix that we normally see in ALR on Sundays, Mondays, and Tuesdays. Of course, we've been racing around here for the last 3 nights, but tonight then it is double the length. And of course, we've gone from 33 to 66 laps around this one tonight. So definitely, it's going to be much more. It's going to be much more difficult for the drivers, and we also always hear about how the drivers are very sweaty after the Grand Prix as well. Kiki almost out of DRS DRS range there of Lucas Percy. So Kiki's going to have to really try and rein him in now, because if he drops out of DRS, that could be a problem. Then look at that McLaren, that commitment there from Vintage. Incredible stuff at the back shot there. Incredible stuff indeed there for Vintage in 14th position, back on board with Stiles, his teammate at the moment, as the two McLarens are doing a very good job so far in this Grand Prix. But of course, so far it's only minor points there from the team from Woking. They will probably want to probably want to make some forward motion in the not too distant future then, but of course we've got a long way to go. Also depends about strategy as well. Pit stops around here, I would have said that the tyre wear around here is quite high. Surprised that there's so many drivers on medium tyres, to be fair. We only had one driver on this hard tyre, and that was Liam, but Nosey has gone from the soft to the hard tyre, and is Nosey going to try and get to the end of the race from there? I'm not too sure personally, but I have been wrong about strategy. I'm always wrong about strategy, to be fair, but that's what makes it very exciting. Equals is out of DRS of Brett RTB momentarily, but he has got back into that window. Well, just as I say that, he's actually dropped out again. So Equals, and is he struggling for pace, or is he just trying to keep those tyres in a good operating window? I got to say that I do not know yet then, but Equals in qualifying was a bit behind the 8-ball, but in the race has really brought himself into the into the frame, hasn't he? And that's certainly not going to certainly not going to lighten Reflections of mood, is it? Back on board of RTB again, and RTB currently we've missed him, haven't we? That's why it's all very much focusing on RTB at the moment, and as out of the peloton as well. Stiles has got a very good run out of a very good run. Who was that? Was that someone off the circuit there, or did it go just wide there? Potentially, but here comes Stiles now. Vessier is also getting past Jay Hings there, and we're just taking a look at Stiles. There's Jay Hings, through he goes. Oh goodness me, it's Riley showing him his wheel there. Stiles is through into not finished as well. Tory getting past Vintage, moving himself up into 40th position. That's 2 points there for Toy. Remember, just like bronze, and the points goes down to 15th position there. So unfortunately, if you get no points, then you kind of got to take the walk of shame, don't you? Unfortunately, Cooper who would like to get past Riley. So Stiles has finally got past Riley after probably a lap or two too long, I would say. Vessier also getting past Jay Hings as well, but unfortunately Vessier is a second and a quarter away from the Haas car, who's also a second and a quarter away from his teammate Equals. Legend is there. So Legend has dropped out of DRS then, but currently he's not good. Oh, and just I say that, that's Legends off the circuit out of turn 4, 9, 10 I think it is. Damaged the end plates. Oh dear, that's not ideal at all, is it? Unfortunately, Legends there making a mistake and has damaged the end plates. We were saying that he dropped out of DRS there, and unfortunately, whether you're struggling with tyre wear or not, I do not know, but that's only 9 laps on these medium tyres. But unfortunately, Legends is going to have to come into the pits there. Marsky is going to overtake him, so Legends making an unscheduled first stop here. Was that an unforced error? Was he pushing too hard? Stiles is now gaining, but I think he's going to be too far back, and this is getting very hot, isn't it, in this battle for 6th, 7th and 8th position here. And Riley is also in the facility as well. We're going to keep an eye on Vessier, and the Haas mechanics are just surrounding the car now onto the hard tyres then for Legends there, for losing out from 6th position there, and that could be vital in the Constructors' Championship. Stiles, who is now very much putting pressure on Jay Hings, who's putting pressure on Vessier. I reckon those soft tyres are done. Look at that, 2.5 deficit between himself and Equals. That is not ideal, is it, for Vessier? So he's not going to have a DRS zone. It could be a sit-and duck. Oh, that's not ideal. Hello to you, Stephen Anthony. Absolutely isn't ideal. That's probably the understatement of this evening. There will probably be a lot more understatements going on here. Tory now 4 seconds away from Serious Mushroom. He's now made his way up to 11th position there. But of course, if there is a certain ginger rate in that Red Bull car, the Red Bull will be leading. Again, I've never heard so much boulder dash in my life. Goodness me, I don't even know. I don't even know why I come out of this waffle. Out of the final turn now, and here comes here comes, I was going to say Harry Styles. Goodness me, I haven't been listening to One Direction, I swear. I think they're probably do they still? I know that as Mad Max has left the session, sadly. I think Mad Max is not happy about something or other though. But is that Styles all over the gearbox of the Mercedes? I think that Mad Max there, who's had the cropper somewhere sadly out of the Grand Prix a few laps ago. Then unfortunately, I think that anyway, going back to One Direction, I don't think, are they still together? I do not know. To be honest, I know that Harry Styles was doing it. couple of songs solo, wasn't he? Was he Glastonbury a few years ago? No idea. Oh no, that was Lucas. Lucas or Lewis? Lewis Capaldi? Oh goodness me! To be honest, I'm very much a Westlife fan. To be fair, I don't know much about modern music. However, somehow, whilst I've been waffling away about Harry Styles and One Direction, we have kind of missed a valuable point here, and that is Vesser. He's lost another second and a half, but somehow he has kept that sixth position away from these crocodiles right behind him there. And goodness me, very happy indeed. Styles is cooking in bronze. He will cook here, absolutely. Of course, Styles in a rich run of form in bronze, isn't he? I don't think the classification for bronze has not been finalised just yet, but he is already in the upper echelons of the World Championship. Here's Jay Hings then, but once again, Vesser has such a good launch there, doesn't he? And here comes Coop getting past Riley then, and look at this, and it's just getting very hairy down into turn one. And there's a lot of weaving around there. Of course, you're only meant to weave once on the back straight, and of course, you're not meant to weave in the braking zone either. Styles there, of course, coming from the back of the field, then up into 8th position moment, Jay Hings, who is still not been able to. There's a struggling, Jay Hings struggling for straight line speed, unfortunately, which is really hurting him getting past Vesser. Vesser's done 11 laps on those soft tyres. That's incredible stuff, but those soft tyres, I think, have had it. Luckily for Vesser, he's got very good straight line speed out there. Similar to Jinner, when Jinner was been racing, wasn't he? He has very good straight line speed, Jinner does, but he does struggle sometimes in tyre wear, and I'm wondering if Vesser's are thinking about the same strategical options here, potentially. Now, look at that. Talking of strategical options, Reflection is very much opening up now his options. He's almost a second. He's a second and a half, over a second and a half in front of Lucas Percy. Kiki is about a second and 2/10 away from Lucas Percy. But then I think that Kiki is going to have some unwanted attention. And here he comes. It is R2B up into 5th position now. Equals just about into us. That's a big lock up though from R2B. That could be costly. Jay Hings is through, and now here comes Styles coming through as well. Styles got up the inside there, and but unfortunately had to break a bit earlier there from Styles' point of view, but still somehow getting through. And here's the Aston Martin car set, and now once again then, because we've seen them battling earlier on there, but Jay Hings through, Styles through, and now Vesser is defending against his teammate Coop, as in soup, along with Sirius Busher. Marsky is also eating into advantage as well. It's getting very fraught now in this midfield battle. Wow, incredible. Oof, my word, goodness gracious me, I'm sweating already there. I might have to go and get myself a bit of a ham sandwich in a minute there, because this is getting very action-packed, to say the least. I'm wondering if, of course, we have talked about the Aston Martin, new dynamic of Aston Martin with the new teammates there. Of course, Riley becoming a new full-time member of the event league, and I'm wondering then if Riley wasn't a new teammate who is on a new kid on the block, so to speak, there, really wants to make a splash there, struggling in silver this season. Riley is there, even with a pole position there. Percy's got a 3-second penalty. And that's a major problem there for Percy. Let's see how this one transpires. It's a long race, this one is there. We ain't even at half distance yet. But Riley is struggling to keep up with his teammate here. And here's Styles, my word, and there he goes. Wow! Look at the overspeed there. And I think the Vesser's going to go for it as well, you know. Jay Hings is really struggling for straight line speed there. And now, but he still kept the inside of Vesser is through. And he's back through. And Jay Hings is not going to like that at all. My word there. And Jay Hings is struggling there, isn't he? But Styles is already almost out of DRS range. But Jay Hings is back behind Vesser. And this is not good at all, is it, for the Mercedes driver, who will be wants to use those medium tyres to his advantage now and really rocket past Vesser. But Vesser, then in the twisty stuff, he has lost a second already in the first sector alone. Vesser is really becoming the cork in the bottle. Look at that Aston Martin squirm there. It's like I'd watch the shopping trolley run around Tesco's. Incredible car control from Vesser. Not helping though in terms of his forward movement, sadly. And now Styles is going to be in a very it's going to be in a bit of a no man's land now. He's almost 6.5 seconds away from Equal's head. Of course, as into the pits there. Percy's into the pits after only 14 laps there on the medium tyres there. But I reckon he's potentially starting to really rock the boat and maybe go for an undercut here. But let's see how Percy gets through. But he is the first of the the top runners to go into the pits. Across the line we come once again. And look at this, as Jay Hinks has got back past Vessier, going down into turn one. Can Jay Hinks keep that position there? Serious Mushroom on the sniff on the back of Coop as in soup. Whoa, that's Jay Hinks there. Great save, sir. Goodness me. I got to say, David Seaman would have been impressed by that one. Incredible. Or maybe I should have picked a bit more of a moderner goalkeeper, potentially Allison there. But a great save nonetheless from Jay Hinks. But Jay Hinks has now got to try and get away from Vessier here. And of course, Vessier has still got decent speed to a certain degree. But the amount of the gaps that are opening up now is quite is getting a bit worrying then for these drivers. And Percy has come out into a 5-second gap. And now Percy that can potentially use some qualifying times now to really put his toe down. With that 3-second penalty, I wonder if he was forced into that. We'll have to ask him after the race then. But Percy is now in 14th position there. But he will be on the back of this crocodile sooner rather than later if Vessier doesn't pit there. I'll be surprised if Percy catches up with Vessier still out there. But Vessier is now into the pits now. Great stint there from Vessier, to be fair. I wonder if Vessier's going to go medium there. We're only on lap 16, Sean. You need to calm it down a bit there. Of course, you've got to get some mass going. Serious Mushroom's got past Coop. And Mushroom now into 8th position now. Of course, Mushroom like Styles there, making his way through the field quite nicely indeed. Vessier then on the medium tyres. And so Vessier can go medium now, whilst his rivals around him might have to go medium hard, for example. So maybe the medium tyre is the best tyre to be on. Where's Vessier going to come out then? So we've got Legends and Knowlesy down in 17th and 18th position there. Not much to write home about by their two drivers there, but Vessier's come out about a couple of seconds in front. Oh, my word. And now Vintage, we're on board with Vintage in the second McLaren. His teammates now elevating himself up to 5th. Vintage has got himself as high as 12th so far. Vintage is, I think we're quite happy with how this race has turned out. I think the Marsky would like to have Vessier to stay out there for one more lap. But now Vessier has eked out those soft tyres. He is now going to do a Percy and now start to put his toe down and really start to... very much really start to home in on the guys in front of him. So Vessier and Percy are the two drivers are going to be keeping an eye on. Reflection stays out. R2 Beat stays out as well. Lucas Percy, I think, has condemned himself. Say condemned, that's not probably a nice word, is it? Has gone to a two-stop strategy here. So he's going to use two types of tyres, whether that's the medium, whether he's going to go for soft in the final stint or whether he's going to go for hard in the final stint remains to be seen. We've just seen Vessier very much extend his stint and done about 15 laps. So Percy set the fastest lap of the race. Whilst Reflections R2B Kiki is, I wonder if he had a bit of tyre grading, because Kiki is now starting to put pressure back on R2B. Equals is in 4th position there, with Styles in 5th. He's in no man's land now after all the battling that's been going on. With Jay Hinks has now got Riley, Cirrus Mushroom, and Coop on his tailpipe. And nothing else on his tailpipe there. And Jay Hinks, we've seen that he has struggled with straight line speed, but where he struggles to stay straight line speed, look at the second sector. He's out of DRS of Riley now, and that is crucial. Cirrus Mushroom though is in DRS of Riley, and look at Cirrus Mushroom. That is how powerful the DRS is around here. Almost at the gearbox of the Aston Martin. We've got Coop also in the facility. Marsky agonisingly close to the DRS end, but unfortunately has to stay out of it. Unfortunately, he's out of it at the moment there. But Cirrus Mushroom is going to be causing... Oh, Riley's had enough. He's into the pits now. Of course, there used to be a nasty bump coming into the pit lane now. I think was it Troy that crashed there heavily a few seasons ago, didn't it? Which really condemned... I love that word at the moment, don't I? Goodness me. I've probably been watching the condemned, actually. It's really condemned to a very difficult start to his season. Was it season 9? Where he's defending his world championship potentially. And now here comes Percy all over the gearbox now. Vintage has started on those medium tyres, started the race on the medium tyres, whilst Percy has just come in and gone for the medium tyres. Riley has gone on the hard tyres. Now can Riley extend his stint and go to the end of the race? And there's Percy's on the outside, and he's done it there. Looks at that, just the grip there. Don't think Vintage fought that one too hard, because Vintage is on a different strategy. Vintage is only concerned about the drivers around him. He's not concerned about Lucas Percy just yet, and he might be later on, of course, there, especially if Percy's on a two-stopper and Vintage might be on a one-stop, but Percy making his way back through the field now. So we've seen Riley. I wonder if Riley is the first of the runners to go on to a one-stop. Let's see how long those hard tires go for. The longest so far has been Liam, who started on the Grand Prix on those tires. And if Liam can get his hard tires to over 30 laps, then over 30 odd laps, then it's into the pits comes Mushroom. So Mushroom trying to left, he's also in the pits as well on lap 20 then. So I think the Mushroom's going to be on a two-stopper here potentially. On board now. What am I talking about? I reckon the Mushroom, is he going to be on two-stopper or one-stopper? Yeah, he's on the whole one-stopper, so Mushroom is on the one-stopper, I feel. Let's see, though, how this will transpire. What's so exciting is I have no idea, which is great. But Sirius Mushroom's up behind Vestia, and also the second Aston Martin's going to power through as well, and that he does. Or is he? Then it's going to be a drag race down into turn one. And where is Mushroom? There he is. Well, he's just looking at his pit box there. But Riley has got through. Crucial stuff indeed. Percy as goodness me, and Percy there replaying his party trick there. Can I have a rewind? Up into 9th position now goes at Lucas Percy. Down into 10th is Tori. Next target for Lucas Percy is Marsky, who's finally within DRS range of the Williams car of Coop, who has dropped back quite considerably from Jay Hings there. Well, this has been a very entertaining race so far. Incredible stuff indeed. What a great race has been. Of course, the 100% then. I'll keep going 100%. The event league then, of course, next week for the first time ever in Grand Prix in ALR Grand Prix history, we will have a race going around in reverse. I think we did actually for the lockdown laps, didn't we, a few years ago? But I don't think it was official as such then. But yes, then it's going to be a reverse track race we're going to have in Silverstone next week, and that is going to be very interesting indeed. And Coop, who is helping Marsky stay ahead of Percy, as Marsky there, I think, was kind of caught the Williams car at the wrong end of the straight there, and he had nowhere to go. So Percy is now going to use those fresh tyres and to maybe rocket past the Ferrari. He's going to go into turn 4, and look at the pace he's got up the inside, sides through the Ferrari, and through into it goes Lucas Percy. Next target is Coop as in Super, then after that there's a 2-second buffer. But I feel that the time he's taken, or the time he's losing getting through this traffic, is really hurting Lucas Percy at the moment. But how wrong have I been before? Sorry, I need a bit of Monster. As talking of monsters, what's happened? There's a kick Sauber off. It's Knowlesy who's had it. Oh, he's damaged the car, Knowlesy has there. That's not ideal at all, because Knowlesy is probably a bit worse for wear, to be fair, as he's had to commentate 3 nights in a row, which, goodness me, which normally would be quite an easy job, but unfortunately in an ALR racing then, it's anything but an easy job with these drivers fighting tooth and nail for every part of the circuit. And Legends is off at Cox Corner. Percy's up into 6th position again, past Coop, and look at this out the background there. Oh my goodness me, was that 2 moves there for Coop as it zoomed that up the inside goes Marsky as they're banging wheels then, and Coop keeps the position. There he is. Oh, does he? Because Marsky goes up the inside. Was there contact? There might have been contact. Got rubbish camera angles here. Goodness me. We're going to watch Tori then. Now we're back on board with Coop. Now we're back on board with Marsky. I got to say, I would like to have had an off-board camera there, but never mind. I'm not Mr. Director. I've lost my tower. There we go. But Coop there repelling the attack of Marsky. Marsky not be too fond of Coop there, unfortunately, as he would like to have probably got past the Williams driver earlier on then. Look at that, the gap is now 9 seconds there, almost 10 seconds there. Stars is flying out there, and Stars has got, I'm sure that gap was about 6 seconds between Stars and Equal. Stars is flying, isn't he? He's in such a rich run of form, and just like Stephen said that he is cooking at the moment, isn't he, Stars is. I think that this is Stars' best run of form in Grand Prix races. I was umming and ahhing about a few seasons ago, but where he was really quick, but he did have a couple of issues, didn't he? But Stars is in such a good form at the moment. Is that what Coop's in? Marsky stays out. Soft tyres for RTB. Now that's a curveball, isn't it? Oh, I did not expect that on the Alpine car. So RTB is going for a 2-stopper, which means he can have a short stint, middle stint, and then go back on the medium tyres there. Coop into the pits, and we've also got Vest. No, it's not Vest. Yes, Vintage has gone onto the hard tyres. Oh, who else on the hard tyres? Coop has gone hard tyres as well, and so Coop is going for a 1-stopper as we're about 1/3 of the way through this Grand Prix, give or take a couple of a mask there because I don't like masks. Even though, is it because I don't like masks I'm not good at it? I would argue that that is not the case. Watching Liam then, who has now started to come into the battle, and love the helmet by the way from Liam. That's fantastic. Then I think Vintage may have a bit of contender, a bit of competition for the best helmet tonight. As Howie again on the way of Vestia then, because Howie? Goodness me, Halsey does not want to be fighting with Vestia, because Vestia is in a different strategy game at the moment. There is Liam off the circuit. Halsey will come back later on, I'm sure of it, as into the pits comes Kiki then. So Kiki is matching R2B in terms of coming into the pits and trying to cover off R2B, but on soft tyres I do feel that R2B will be going through then. There's Vesta's about 6 seconds away at the moment. Kiki coming out of the pits now. Where is Kiki? Tori's through. R2B, there he is as well. Those soft tyres working splendidly well. Kiki coming out of the pits now. Who's that coming over the broad hill? That's Vestia. And there is a kick salve. That's Knowlesy then. That is not Percy. Sadly, Knowlesy's a lap down. It has been a bit of a difficult race there for Knowlesy, but as we reached there, I don't think that Knowlesy was too prepared for this race then, because he's been commentating all week. Of course, I'm obviously going to defend Knowlesy because he always feeds me chocolate. On board with a serious mushroom, and Jay Hings there is going to be, I think that this is going to be a race-on battle. Serious Mushroom's gone on the hard tyres now. Jay Hings has gone on to the medium compound tyres. Riley has gone hard as well. This is going to get very interesting indeed then. We've got to remember what's going on here. I might have to take a screenshot here so I remember what's going on. We'll take a look at that. We're ain't going to help at all, is it, to be fair? And then we've got Coop in the background now. Per R2 beat, I should say, is through and having 5th position there. So Percy came in the pits several laps ago, about 8 laps to be precise. And a reflection Equals had two championship protagonists at this stage of the season have stayed out there, and I think they're trying to extend their stint as much as possible. They are going to lose a lot of track position because the undercut around here is pretty powerful, albeit then you have to get the overtake done quite quickly, otherwise you're going to lose an almighty amount of time in the middle sector. Stars is incredible. Look at that. The gap has been whittled down to under a second now. That's incredible stuff there from Hungry Styles. Magnificent indeed there. Tori in 6th position there. He's also been DRS. And look at this. Halsey and Liam are now going to have a bit of a showdown here. Was Jay Hinks on the outside, and it's a contact, and Jay Hinks fighting with his former team, but Jay Hinks has the position right down into 12th position. And we've also got Legends and Vintage getting through as well. Legends has done 14 laps on those hard tyres. Vintage has just gone onto those hard tyres. Vintage is trying to get them in. Warm up on the hard tyres is going to be critical. He does not want to go full ham, does Vintage. He wants to bring those hard tyres into play. And so he will let Legends there scamper off into the distance, so to speak, then Vintage will come back later on in the race because Legends is on a different strategy at the moment. And it is very difficult to understand what everyone is doing out there at the moment, because everyone is on different strategies throughout the grid, and it is great to see. Styles is a freight train to 2nd position. Goodness gracious me, man. This man has been tested for steroids because he's in a ridge runner form, isn't he? Move out the way, Piastri. I think move out the way, Piastri and Norris. I think that we need to promote Stars to that McLaren seat. Incredible stuff. Marshall got a 3-second penalty. Kiki has got past teammate Tori, who's on the same strategy as Stars and Equals. I don't know how Stars is making it work out there. He's superb. Now he's not quicker. It was Alpha. I think that was one of the lap cars in the background. So he's not quicker than Reflections then potentially. I wonder what could have been if Styles qualified here tonight. I reckon that he could have been a big forward in the side of the maybe winning the race today. Fantastic indeed. Let him cook, says Anthony. He absolutely is. They call him Gordon Ramsay. Superb. Hopefully with less swearing then. I do love less swearing. So more swearing, I say that. But Styles is absolutely in incredible form at the moment, isn't he? So R2 Beat then is elected to go soft tyres in the middle stint then. The only driver to do that. Everyone else is gone for even a medium second stint now with Lucas Percy, or they have gone for a hard stint now. Apart from Vessia, who started on the soft tyres and has now gone on to the medium tyres, and Vessia will probably go medium until the end of the race then. We ain't even at half distance yet though, so of course we've still got a long way to go. Kiki has now started to fire on all cylinders. Tori's into the pits there. From 7th position. He was in the 6th position, no, 7th position. He was in 7th position. He's not anymore. Look at this. And now as we have got yellow flags, what's happened? And it's Percy! He's off the circuit! And that's 11 laps on the medium tyres. Was there a tyre issue there? Or did Percy have an issue of his own there? And look at that, that's brought Kiki back in the facility as well. And look at this, and it's Halsey is fighting with Jay Hinks, and Jay Hinks has got Riley all over his gearbox as well. Halsey getting out of the way, Riley also getting through as well. Then that battle is going to continue, but the headline attraction at the moment on this lap is this man here. It's the winner from the last race. It is Percy, and that is really going to be. Love the helmet from Kiki, love the stuff, didn't they? Goodness me. But Kiki, even with that beautiful helmet of his, is now into 6th position now and is hunting down Percy. It's not going well for the kick salvers out there at the moment. Alright then, let's take stock then on lap 27 out of 66. I think definitely Styles, Equals and Reflections are all aiming for a one stop. Styles is now starting to home in. I think Styles is the quickest man on circuit at this stage of the race. And in terms of the drivers that are staying out on those tyres. And here comes Kiki, and of course that mistake last lap is oh my goodness me, and Percy defending, and Kiki taking evasive action going on the outside, and through he goes there. And Percy down into 6th position there. I don't know if that's and he's almost, I think that was a mistake last time around for Percy, because he's almost done it again. There's a problem with Percy's, I wonder if there's a problem with tyre wear, but he's only done 12 laps on the medium tyres there, and that's going to shock Percy, who is out there. Goodness me, you don't rent that part of the circuit, but Liam's not interested in renting, he's interested in defending the position. Riley currently needs to get past, oh my gosh, there's contact between the two cars, damage to someone, or was that damage there? I don't know. Liam, they're trying to, who's that? That's one of the Alpines crawling. Who is that? It's Halsey there, just trying to make it through this first stint there. Is there damage? Is there damage on even cars? I thought it's in debris come on, but both front wings look fine, unless there is damage off the side of the cars. But unfortunately for Riley, that is going to take him out of the battle, as we got more yellow flags out there. And it's that Percy, I'm not sure, it's one of the kick salvers crawling into the pits. Now comes Reflections, into the pits comes Equals, into the pits comes Styles, and that's our podium sitters. Now they're going to have to do some racing, they're going to have to do some overtaking, I think, and Nisted. R2B leads the way. Reflections is out in second. Oh, that's perfect for Reflections. Kiki, who's going to be quicker than him at this stage there. Where is Styles? Styles is just come out of the pit lane. Equals just come out of the pits while warm-up is difficult on these hard tyres. Marski is up in 13th position. So, of course, going back to that incident between Riley and Liam. Liam there, of course, was on the Cirrus Mushroom is going through. Oh, my goodness me. Cirrus Mushroom trying to get through. And unfortunately, the Aston Martin of Riley. I'm wondering if there's damage to the Aston Martin when there's contact between himself and Cirrus Mushroom's teammate, Liam there, by the way. There, of course, I don't think there was any intention there for Liam to slow up Riley to help Cirrus Mushroom out, because that's usually my job. How dare you, Liam? But even so, I think the Liam there just strung on those tyres. He's done 27 laps on those hard Reflections has got a 3-second penalty. I think Liam has got a it's going up the. Oh, I thought Cirrus Rush was going to go through there. So Liam, who's been on those tyres since the start. Those tyres are well past their best. I mean, they've only done 27 laps there. Drivers that have just pitted there, they're going to have to do a bit more than that than to get to the end of the race. Cirrus Mushroom, that dirty air is really hurting Cirrus Mushroom. Look at the crank, look at the steering wheel crank there. Mushroom's also got a 3-second penalty because of that dirty air. That's going to be costly. Mushroom braces past his teammate here. But you just seen when we was on board with Riley, as look at this, Riley's boxed in and Coop uses the Red Bull to his advantage. Through he goes into an position, but now Coop needs to get rid of that Red Bull and make his way past as Riley is under pressure. That Red Bull of Liam has completely ruined Riley's race there, but of course there is no blue flags. The Red Bull's on a different strategy. Coop diving at the inside, contact with Liam. Liam comes back on the inside and almost takes out Riley, and the Ferrari is now going to be on the inside. No, he isn't, because Riley going on the outside. He is through that, uses the newer tyres traction to get past Liam and move himself up into 11th position. Golly gosh, as now we've got Marski trying to go on the outside here, but Liam is not going to wave him through there. Incredible stuff. Yeah, going back to that incident now, I think that Liam now has just got such old tyres that he half spun the car, caught the car, but sadly also caught Riley as well. And unfortunately for Riley, there might be a bit of damage to the Aston Martin. That has been a really painful part of the race there. And look at this, it is Jay Hings there. He is on the medium tyres, of course, Jay Hings is, but Jay Hings had a difficult opening stint now. But as you can see, look at that, they're pulling out of the dirty air quite early there is Jay Hings. I'm wondering why he's doing that. Is the car overheating potentially for Jay Hings and that Mercedes? It looked like that car needed a bit of fresh air. Kiki is now challenging at Reflection as a 3-second penalty. Let's see how that one transpires in this one. Marsky trying to get past Liam as well. Coming up to half distance in this race. Normally this is the twilight of a Grand Prix, but not tonight then, because we still got double the distance to go as we're on lap 30 out of 66, I should say. As we're getting deep into this race now, and it's still anyone's ball game. So, R2B leads, and of course he does have a 4-second advantage over Reflections. R2B is, I think, gone to a 2-stopper here, which means that he will go to the medium tyres shortly near the end of the race. And let's see how long those soft tyres can last for. Reflections in second position, losing time there. Now Kiki is putting pressure on the former race leader. Full position is Percy. Percy made a mistake a couple of laps ago. He's trying to extend this stint and he's trying to get, I don't really, what can Percy do from here on in? He might be able to go to the hard tyres in the race, and maybe Percy has actually seen that the hard tyres are not going to be able to get to the end of the race. He's probably foreshadowed potentially what's happening to Liam right now with 29 laps. 3 laps on our set of hard tyres may not be doable, as now Jay Hinks is up into 7th, finishing again past Equals, who's down into 8th, of course. And remember that potentially what's happened to Liam could happen to Equals, could happen to Stars, and we got a lot of overtaking there as through goes Marsky and into 12th position there. Liam jumped down into 13th. Riley has now got a bit of a buffer now, see there, so Riley won't be able to get himself back into the flow of things. Look at the wash off the front of that Williams there. That is dirty air, isn't it? Of course, dirty air has been quite paramount for drivers here today, and of course, it's been quite paramount for drivers over the past couple of races as well, hasn't it? Really, as the dirty air is come back with a vengeance, hasn't it? Over the past couple of races in these new ground effect era cars, but hopefully next season with new regulations, that might be slightly different. So, as we were saying, Percy, I reckon, could go onto the hard tyre to the end of the race, sooner rather than later. He might have foreshadowed what's happened to Liam now. With Liam done 30 odd laps, are really struggling now. Liam is down in 30th position, and I reckon that Percy thought that a 2-stopper, a 1-stopper is not only impossible, and maybe that's what his game is. Because I do feel that those medium tyres are not going to get him far enough for him to go into softs. Famous last words. It's on board with Styles. Styles at the moment is the MVP of this race. Incredible driving from Styles. He's been the MVP though for the last. Now through goes Marsky and passes Riley and up into the 11th position. And Riley dropping down into 12th. We got yellow flags on the outside as I think the Nolsey is unfortunately just really been in a no man's land there, and unfortunately it's just getting a bit difficult there. I think Knowles is also letting a lot of drivers through, but his teammate though has now got a bit of a problem now, because here comes Vessier and here comes Stars as well. Vessier there pitting just a lap before Percy then, so Vessier and Percy carrying on a very similar strategy, albeit Vessier started on the soft tyres, whilst Percy started on the medium tyres. And I'm wondering if Vessier, can he did a great job on those soft tyres at the beginning then. So if he can get double the length of what he did on the soft tyres, then he could be singing his win. However, Vessier then, who might want to have been challenging Percy on this lap, is not going to be challenging, because I think he's going to be defending from it. Stars there. Having said that, Stars has not got the, I wonder if he hasn't got the pace on this lap there, so he's going to just drop back then ever so slightly. Jay Hings there, who's in front of Equals now, as Equals is down into a position. Serious Merchant defending from Coop there, because Serious Merchant hugging the inside there. He doesn't want Coop to fly by there. And then we've got Riley and Marsky chasing each other down. A lot of penalties up there, I would say, at this stage. And of course, half distance in this Grand Prix. Now there is a lot of penalties out there for a lot of drivers. So here comes Styles out, and goodness me, Styles is all over the gearbox now. The Aston Martin. We've got Lucas Percy just in front of us here. Then we've got Vessier, who is now starting to really struggle. As compared to Styles, who's on a very new set of hard tyres. So Reflections now starting to is now pulled away from Kiki by 2 seconds. Last time we checked in with those two, then and Reflections are half the deficit between himself and RTB, who's on the soft tyres, and of course done 12 laps on the soft tyres. Some drivers doing a really good job on their tyre life, actually. Really impressive stuff indeed out there. Much better than what Mercedes did in 2013, as I remember that race quite well. As it was a horror show for Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton, as both drivers started on the front row. Rosberg finished 6th in the end, whilst Hamilton finished 12th. A bit of a dismal race, wasn't it, for the Mercedes team there. And now Equal's getting back past Jay Higgs, the one, and as you see in the background there, there's emerging Mushroom. But then I just say that Coupe has emerged in front of Mushroom, and up into 9th position. Serge Bush dropping down into 10th. Into the pits comes Legends after 23 laps on those hard tyres there, and Liam doing a great job, because Liam has gone half distance now on those hard tyres. So Liam has very much just, that's a lockup from Percy. That's a major lockup from Lucas Percy, who is dropping back then. And I got to say, I don't have a clue what's going on in this race. For us, it's fantastic, isn't it? It's very interesting stuff here in terms of what is going to happen. I have no idea. It's great, isn't it? RTB, it's still got quite decent pace in that Alpine, to be fair to it, wasn't it? Very impressive stuff indeed. Then the gap is 2.2 seconds there, and it's remained at 2.2 seconds now for the last couple of laps or so. Back on board with Styles, and as we mentioned, it feels like we've lived with Styles throughout this race, and it's been fine Vettel indeed. That Styles had to, of course, only in the opening 6 race, opening 5-6 race, technically 6 races, but only on 5 rounds to get the cut of my jib. Of course, Styles only scored 22 points there, but a really good race in Bahrain last week then with a 5th position. And now tonight then, he is going probably aiming harder in a 5th position. I think he should be aiming for a podium with that kind of pace at the moment. But Styles is probably going to be feeling a bit of the brunt here, because he's losing a bit of time now. This is the time where he doesn't really want to be losing too much there. But he is 5 seconds in front of Equals, who's going to be his fellow podium sitter, who'll be fighting for that 2nd and 3rd position. But they've also got to remind themselves there about how this race is going to unfold, because of course anyone could be on 1 stoppers, anyone could be on 2 stoppers. I did hazard a guess that Reflections and Styles and Equals are all on 1 stoppers, but I'm not too sure now. Maybe it's certainly possible looking at Liam out there on 34 old hard tyres, but everyone else I don't think has not done anything above 25 odd laps on any tyre. So Liam's the outlier there, isn't he, in terms of tyre life. Jay's getting a 3-second penalty. We will review the penalty situation. Look at Percy. Percy's absolutely rocketed away from Vessier on that lap there, and that 8/10 per second buffer might help Styles get through here. But Styles kind of has caught up to these two, probably the wrong stage here. Both drivers done 20 and 21 laps there on those medium tyres, and Styles will probably be liking to get out of this dirty air. As Styles all over the gearbox. Cirrus Mushroom's got past Coupe and back up to 9th position, with Coupe dropping down into 10th in the Williams and Red Bull battle. I love that shot. It's a beautiful shot, isn't it, out here? And you'll see if we hang on to that shot, well, it's not that we don't, but if we was going to hang on to that shot, we would have had Equals and Jay Hings there following this gaggle of cars there. So the gap between the leader and 2nd place of Reflection and RTB is now under 2 seconds. And for the first time in this stint, well, just like I say that, it's now gone over 2 seconds. Now it's back under 2 seconds. And so that is now, RTB is now starting to suffer, I think, on those tyres out there. And he's going to probably be starting to feel a bit of the pressure. But RTB will probably be looking at drivers around him. I reckon RTB might be on a gold mine here in terms of the strategy out there, as Liam and Vintage is having having a good scrap here for 14th and 15th position there. Of course, as I mentioned, Liam is the only driver who's done over 30 laps there. Here comes Stiles again then, and Stiles who's once again then just too far back. The DRS is really helping Vester, but Vester is gaining this lap on Percy, but a bit too far back, isn't he? The gap is still static though between 6th and 7th position of Equaz and Stiles, who are fighting for potentially a podium here. So it's not mission critical yet then, but Stiles probably feels he's losing a lot of time in this one. And finally, Liam is into the pits for the Red Bull team, and I think that there'll be medium tyres going on to that Red Bull, and now Liam will be going to the end of the race then. End of the race, I feel, and we might be able to look after those medium tyres there. But great stint from Liam, brilliant stuff indeed. Let's take stock. R2B is now a second and a half away from Reflections, who's been homing in on him. Kiki has just about kept Reflections in his view in third position. Percy in fourth position, doing a great job actually. Percy has really extended his stint nicely, with Vester also doing the same thing in fifth position. No penalties for Vester and Kiki or R2B. Impressive stuff. Same for Stiles in sixth position. Stiles been doing a great job. However, on this lap, the gap has come down about half a second. That's quite alarming there. Stiles is going to have to start to get a move on now in this race. If Equaz starts to home in on him, and Stiles is using the track position and the advantage at this moment. There is Equaz in the background. And once again, though, he's just stuck, isn't he? This is the problem here, isn't he? He is just stuck. Very similar. I think it was Jay Hings on this race with Vester as well. He was just stuck and couldn't get past because of the characteristics of the setups of the cars, which makes this very interesting indeed. Then again, I could be speaking absolute balderdash. So Hings and Equaz in 7th and 8th position there. Serious Musher and Coop having a good old battle in 9th and 10th moments. 2x2x2. And Stiles going on the outside here. Is he through? Magnificent. Using the traction. Great manoeuvre. Stiles couldn't get past down the back straight. Instead, he gets past on the outside of turn 5. He studied Percy, who did that twice earlier on this race. And now Stiles has done the same. And through and into 5th position now for Hungry Stiles, who is hungry today. It's great to see. Really good stuff there from Hungry Stiles, who is now up into 5th position. Great manoeuvre. Gap at the front is now under a second then. So Reflections is now got DRS then. The drag reduction system on that Mercedes is now in play. So I would say that R2B then, when can he extend, when can he come in the pits and go on to the medium tyres there? Of course, sooner rather than later, he obviously wants to get the undercut, but at the same time, of course, he wants to make it to the end of the race in decent condition of tyres there. I think that the man he'll be looking at the moment there is Vestier and Percy, both on 24 and 23 laps respectively on those medium tyres there. But Stiles is now starting to really push on now. Coop is through past Serious Musher, who have been having a scrap for most of the race. And Serious Musher there was looking a bit fruity there on the track map, but I think he's going to have to stay. He's going to have to yield for the time being, unless he can reproduce Percy's and Stiles' party trick there. I wonder if Stiles is going to do the same on Percy. But look at that, the kick Sauber is harvested, and Vestier is starting to struggle out there. You can see the gap is now over 6/10 of a second. Here they come over Cox Corner. Stiles is Stiles is starting to put pressure, but just going back to the leaders as R2B then, who's going to be eking out these soft tyres now, but he has been losing time over Reflections, and here comes Reflections. There goes Reflections, takes the lead of the Spanish Grand Prix on lap 40 out of 66 here, gets past the Alpine. Good stuff indeed. Stiles had getting a bit too much grass on the inside there. Is that going to hurt his momentum? But he does not have, but the car in front does not have DRS, but I reckon he took too much grass out of the exit at turn 13. And he's going for it, but I think that he could have got that overtake done if he wasn't too greedy on the inside of the final quarter, unfortunately. Morsky gets the 3-second penalty. A shame, unfortunately. In 11th position, they're 6 seconds away from this battle for 9th and 10th position. There's the Ferrari in the background. Serious Mushroom there, putting pressure on the Williams of Cooper. Apart from that, then I think everyone else there is all spread out. Stiles there, goodness gracious me! Then look at this. And, he's got a 3-second penalty. It is from the dirty air, unfortunately. Who, of course, there, that's it's the dirty air that probably made Stiles run once. Probably why we got a lot of 3-second penalties there. The drivers are not really gaining track time as such. Oh, Percy, I thought he was going to have a almighty shunt there. Of course, I said Kovalainen had a crash there, but it was on the outside, wasn't it? It was a tyre failure in 2008. I'm sure Hulkenberg had a crash there in the Williams, wasn't it, in 2010? In practice, was it 2010 or 2012? I think it was 2010, actually, wasn't it? Hulkenberg did have a good old smash there, didn't he, in his Williams car back in 2010, his debut then, wasn't it? I think I'm sure it was in practice. I remember seeing it on the season review DVD. Right, here comes Stalls again. RTB is back in DRS then. Stalls then is running out straight then, but he's going for it. Percy trying to defend there. And goodness gracious me, then that bit of defensive driving for Percy might have made Stalls hesitate ever so slightly. And because of that, then Stalls had to back off. Into the pits comes Riley in the Aston Martin. Of course, Riley was on course with some major points there, but clash earlier on in the race there may have damaged the Aston Martin. Another lock up there from Lucas Percy. The gap is now in 13 seconds there. But of course, I do feel that Percy is going to be pitted again. I think Kiki will be pitted again as well out there. And wherever the reflections stars and Equal's pits again remains to be seen there. But it's going to be an interesting end to this race, I'd say. That is a guarantee. So Riley is now going to the pits and going on to the medium tyres until the race, doing a similar strategy to R2B. Only difference is, of course, that Riley went for hard instead of medium. Went for hard instead of soft tyres. Starts up the inside. There's contact there between the two cars, and Percy's off the circuit. And Stalls there taking advantage of his new tyres, and Percy's in the pits, and Vester also in the pits as well. And there's a bit of contact on the outside barrier, but Stalls is through and up into full position there. I wonder what the stewards make of that one there. As into the pits now comes Vessier and Percy and Vessier, yeah, that's the one. Equals Jay Hinks, and I've got Mushroom and Cooper. Percy's in the pits there, Vessier coming out of the pits now. So look at this end. So yes, of course that contact between Stalls and Percy has cost Percy track position there. I wonder if he was coming in the pits anyway. But Percy is now on the hard tyres to the end of the Grand Prix. Vessier has now gone on medium tyres to the end of the Grand Prix. Now let's see how this one transpires for Vessier then, and for Percy as well. And of course this battle rages on. I think it's a bit of a lull at the moment, isn't it? What's happened? What has happened there? It's Barsky who's had an issue there, and Tori is through and up into ninth position. And so the green flags are waving then, so a slight moment for the Ferrari of Marsky there, but Marsky, I'm not sure if that was just a bit of lapse of concentration. Look at the understeer. They're damaged on that front wing. It doesn't look to be damaged there. Is that just tyre wear? My word then, tyres, isn't it? I'm sure you're all tired of listening about tyres there, but of course it is the, what was, goodness me, we've had a great old battle between legends Riley and Halsey here, on board with Riley, and look at this, Riley is going to have to get defensive here. He's on fresh medium tyres. He does not want to get overtaken by the Haas at this stage of the Grand Prix. Riley needs to be using this fresh air, as Marsky has lost out. Here comes Percy. Oh my goodness me, Percy's got an all coming through like a freight train. Is it going for Vessier? Vessier's got a mega top end speed on that Aston Martin. I think Percy's going to have a mighty run out of the final turn, isn't he? Here comes Legends, who also be thinking about a mighty run there. Riley, you can see in his wing mirrors having a look there, but he might not be able to stop the Haas car, and Legends having to do 14th position. He's third in the championship, and Riley diving down the inside. Great racing, I love it. And look at that, they're still fighting. There's a bit of rapid, magnificent stuff indeed. But Riley's gone wide. Legends trying to go up the inside. Marsky's left the session. Oh no, the Ferrari driver's in peril. Wow, incredible stuff. R2B's in the pits now, and that's going to be medium tyres to the end of the race shortly there for R2B. I wonder when Kiki's going to come in the pits as well. Riley there just, I think that a bit like Daniel Ricciardo there for Riley, wasn't it? He might have broke there, and then he decided to break about 20 metres later. Incredible driving from Riley. So we've got a lot of pit action now. R2B into the pits there on the medium tyres, and also Serious Mushroom into the pits as well after 25 laps on those hard tyres there. So this is where the final stage of this race is going to be. 20 laps to go in this one. It's the final countdown to determine who is going to be victorious for round 6 of the event league here tonight. Incredible stuff indeed. Riley shouldn't be under too much pressure this time around then, as Knowles has got a 3-second penalty. Vessier has lost out then. Whilst I've been looking around then, yellow flag, something has gone a bit awry. What's happened there? And what has happened? It's Kiki! Kiki has had an issue there at Cox Corner, and as he's done only 21 laps on those medium tyres, but that is a major problem. R2B on fresh medium tyres now, and look at how close he is to the back of Equals there. That's alarm bells for the championship leader. Jay Hings there is on 23 lap of tyres. Then we've got Coop, then we've got Tori, then we've got Percy, who's got past Vessier here. That's alarm bells, I think, for Equals, and who I think you'll be surprised of how well R2B's done on that soft tyre stint then. So incredible stuff indeed. I reckon there's R2B, after us questioning his strategy, absolutely boulder dash. I think R2B knew exactly what he was doing there. As now Vessier, I thought he was going to try the same trick as Styles there. R2B is through up into fourth position. 7-second gap between himself and Styles. Kiki has stayed out. Here comes Percy. Percy now needs to make waves, and does he? He's got a 3-second penalty. He's also down in 9th position there. As the pit stop, as the final pit window is open, Percy's up into 8th position now, locking up the inside tyre. Tori giving him a bit of encouragement through turn 1 and 2. Vessier wants to get by. Wow, up the inside. Mega! Through he goes into 9th position there. Of course, Tori didn't have the tools for the job, sadly, there on 19-lap old hard tyres. But Vessier on new medium tyres and does not want Percy to get away here, especially with when he's got about he's got no penalties compared to Percy's 3 seconds. Oh gosh, incredible stuff out there. Goodness me, I feel I've got giving myself cramp in my own stomach there. Yeah, mega racing out here tonight. It's been fantastic to me. Oh dear, so Marsky's internet is gone there. That is such a shame now for Marsky. He was having a difficult race anyway. Now his computer has decided to pit him onto the soft tyres to the end of the race then. Maybe not, well, I think that I say maybe not in the ideal strategy. And said that there's working wonders at the moment for RTP, who's on fresh medium tyres. He'll be the driver on the freshest tyres come the end of the race as well. But laps are running out here, and Reflections does have quite a mighty advantage of 14 seconds up there for Reflections, who will be hoping to get his second Grand Prix win of the season after he won in Japan back in round 3 of this title. So, lap 47 then. Well, it's been a pretty incredible race, hasn't it, to be fair? It's, we're in a bit of a lull now, aren't we? I say we're in a bit of a lull, but we do have a good scrap for 13th, 14th and 15th position. The final positions then to score points then into the pits comes Kiki. So Kiki, where is he going to come out in? And is he going to go on the soft tyres? Can the soft tyre? I reckon the soft tyres will be the best tyre. Yes, he is, and he is on the soft tyres. Then he's got a 3-second penalty. Sadly, he was caught red-handed there as we was on board with Halsey. But Kiki now on the soft tyres. Jay Hings also on the soft tyres as well in the Mercedes through to the end of the Grand Prix. So Kiki will be coming out of the pits now, but where is he? Oh, he's out in 6th position, just in front of Lucas Percy. So Percy may not be, maybe a bit disgruntled by that, because I don't think he's going to get in front of Kiki. So where can Kiki get in these final stints of this Grand Prix? I think the Coupe might be certainly in range, and I think even Equals could be in range as well. R2B has got it under 6 seconds out to himself and Stars, but Stars is still on course for a magnificent podium position here. I don't think Coupe's going to stop again, you know. I don't think Equals is going to stop again either, and I don't think Stars are reflected in that. So Percy's got a lot of work to do. Vessier also going to be very much mirroring or shadowing Percy right through to the end of the race on the medium tyres, but easily get from there. Then we got Tori in 9th position, Vintage in a very great battle in 10th position there. Serious Mushroom in 11th, but he is on the fresher, harder tyres. And 12th is Jay Hings, and he's going to be quicker than a hiccup. And there is Jay Hings there coming through it like a flash in the back of the screen there. Oh, kick me bottle. Like a flash in the back of the screen there for Jay Hings. Goodness me, it's a serious motion there. It could be in some serious trouble here as we got Vintage in front of us. We've got serious motion and Jay Hings. So Jay Hings, oh, but he's gone wide there, Jay Hings, and that's going to lose momentum. Albeit the soft tires are not going to be too difficult. It's still going to be pretty impressive. He's out of DRS range there, isn't he? So that means that the Mercedes is not going to get DRS down the back straight. And I think that Jay Hings could possibly get up into ninth position, maybe 8th. Might be a bit of a stretch there for Jay Hings on his first. As Legend is off the circuit now. I think that Knowlesy crashed there in qualifying, and now Legend has had an issue at the exact same place at out the final turn. He got so much load on the car in that final turn there, and unfortunately for Legend, he's got damage in the Haas car, and that's not ideal at all, is it? And that's major damage there for Legend, and I think that might be curtains for his chances of getting any points out here tonight. Back on board, Jay Hings, who is going to be one of the men on the move there. Vesser's out of DRS range now, but Percy is going to be trying to keep Kiki in view, but Kiki is going to be looking at Coop as in Soup in 5th position. We'll take a look at the let's take a look at the poles then with just 17 laps to go. So I think the poles has been very impressive up there. 6 seconds for Marsky, 9 seconds for Liam. Everyone else has got penalties on 3 seconds. Kiki gets that fastest that point at the moment, but there is other drivers out there on the soft tyres. They are very pushing, and they are pushing. Out the final turn there for Jay Hings. He's all over the gearbox. Look, there's his targets right in front of us, and Jay Hings. Wow. Serious Mushroom is going to be taking Vintage Mushroom now. Goodness gracious me. And he certainly, Red Bull does give him wings. He was flying down. There was a contact between Jay Hinks and Vintage there potentially. But Serious Mushroom there, I thought he was going to be a sitting Mushroom down that back straight, down the start finish straight. But Jay Hinks absolutely rocketed through there. Goodness me. Fantastic. I didn't know Rocket Lee was racing tonight. Brilliant stuff indeed. But Jay Hings, that's another lap there where he hasn't got by. And the question I do have is whether Jay Hings can get these soft tyres in the race. They should be able to, shouldn't they, with 16 laps to go. But of course, I do think there might have been just to be a bit of looking after towards the end of this one. RTB still aiming to get second position. At the moment, though, he is on course because, of course, with Hungry Styles with that 3-second penalty, oh, look, Jay Hings having a look there. But I think it's more of a dummy to see if he can scare Vintage off the road there. But Vintage there was having none of it. Serious Mushroom is absolutely flying all of a sudden there. I think he has turned at the wick, hasn't he? Incredible stuff indeed there. Kiki is through and up into 6th position there. Serious Mushroom, goodness gracious me, and Jay Hings is through. Where's Vintage? Vintage has had enough on those hard tyres. Serious Mushroom is free as well. And I don't know what's woke Serious Mushroom up, but he's now up into 9th position there. That's an incredible couple of laps there from Mushroom. And now into 6th position goes the hard shod Mushroom. And I think the next is going to be Jay Hings trying to get through as well. Vessier has got back into the court, back up to Percy. And so Vessier is still keen on getting in front of Lucas Percy in this one. As Jay Hings is now going to try and get past Tory. Remember, Jay Hings does have a 3-second penalty. Where has Vintage come out? He's come out in 15 minutes there. He's on the medium tyres there, so Vintage is not keen on those soft tyres to the end of the Grand Prix. So Vintage there has got a 9-second deficit between himself and Marsky, who's unfortunately out of the race unless he can get back in at pronto. Of course, we've got a bit of like the Le Mans rule, haven't we, in ALR, where you have to, it doesn't matter if you're 1 or 2 laps down, you still have to cross the line to finish there, because technically they're only half races, and of course even though this is a full race, it's still the same rule if you get the cut by Jim. Oh, more contact then on the back of the Racing Bull then. Kiki has set the pass up then as he is homing in on Equals now, and I got to say Reflections there is going to really eat into Equals in the championship. Whatever happens here tonight, then the championship will not be the championship lead will not change hands because there's a 48 gap then. But I think tonight then there's a bit of a good old swing there, especially as Reflections going for his second Grand Prix win. Jay Hings is through and up into 10th position now. So Vessier is now starting to put Lucas Percy, the winner from the Bahrain Grand Prix last time out, is now really starting to motor on now, isn't he? Liam and Halsey fighting for position there, and Liam is through and up into 13th position there. A very dirty Red Bull there for Liam. So might have to give the Red Bull a bit of care and attention at the end of this one. And now Kiki all over the back of Equals. it might be damage limitation out for Equus. I think it might have been anyway, because the qualifying trim, the Haas didn't look too good. In the race, it didn't look too bad, but Legends having issues, unfortunately, in this race, and just hasn't been able to recover the damage and time lost there in the Haas car. Of course, Haas also led the constructors as well with a great start to this season then, with first and third in the championship. Kiki now up into fourth position. Next target is R2 Beat, which is 12 seconds down the road, and then he's got about another 2 seconds to himself and Hungry Styles there, but he does have a penalty. Kiki doesn't, and that could be a factor in the remaining stage of this race then. Serious Mushroom then, who I think was trying to probably get away from Jay Hinks, unfortunately wasn't able to, and Jay Hinks is now up into 9th position there. We got a lot of drivers on different strategies in the final stage of this race there. What's happened? And Liam's off the circuit. That's a pesky turn 13. Unlucky for Sam, especially the Liam at this stage. And unfortunately, I'm not sure if he's damaged or not, but Vintage is going to try and steam through here. Going on the outside, Vintage, just great manoeuvre for Vintage then, as I was wondering if he would just go on the inside. Damage there to Liam, and Liam may struggle to keep in. What's happened up front? It's Coop off as well, as I think as the race is coming into the twilight of this one now. Drivers are starting to struggle, and Coop is off the circuit. He's done 30 laps on the hard tyres. My goodness me, this race has all of a sudden started to liven up in these final stages here. My goodness gracious me, Vessia, who has got a Haas in between himself and Lucas Purse in the battle for 6th and 7th position. Legends set the fastest lap race, and we'll get the fastest lap. Of course, you don't have to finish in the top 10 to get that fastest lap point, unlike F1 and Formula E. Of course, it's to entice drivers to keep pallet even when it's been a bit of a horror show day. And unfortunately, I don't want to bring the drivers up, but Legends and Knowlesy has had a pretty miserable Spanish Grand Prix out there, sadly. Oh gosh, my word, I'm a bit out of practice here tonight. Oh my word, I'm absolutely knackered. Goodness gracious me. I'm going to have to get an old pot of noodle by the end of this one, I think now. As Vessia, look at that steering lock on that Aston Martin. It's incredible, somebody. Just shows how difficult these cars are at the moment. Liam's in the pits and to fix the damage. What's happened, as one of the Haas cars has had an issue. It's Legends off the circuit, unfortunately. Really getting a very quick lap there, but unfortunately for Legends there, just it seems to be quick laps followed by a difficult lap, unfortunately for Legends out there. So Liam is out of the points then. So currently as it stands, Marsky will not get that point, so it'll only be the top 14 to get the point then, unless Liam gets back past Marsky. Liam's coming out of the pits now. He does have Legends is a bit too far back, and so is Knowlesy at the moment. But Liam then is going to have to really start to put his toe down if he wants that point then for himself. Of course, reserve drivers do not score points though for the constructors, but they do score points for themselves, of course. We got a kick Sauber of Knowles. He also have an issue at Cox Corner. Cox Corner seems to have claimed a lot of big names out here today. Riley's got a 3-second penalty. Serious Mushroom has now started to put Jay Hings under pressure, which I'm surprised by, because I didn't expect those tires to start to struggle at this stage of proceedings. Vessier still giving Lucas Percy cause for concern. I do think that the hard tires will start to come into their own then, but with 11 laps to go, Vessier is starting to run out of time. But currently he has the high ground with Percy getting that 3-second penalty. Liam's got penalties, is trying to get a penalty as well then, but he is homing in on Marsky, and what's that final point? Marsky out of the Grand Prix. You've only got 2 retirements in this one. Mad Max out of the race earlier on then on the opening lap, and Marsky getting technical groundman's out, which has forced him to leave the session. I'm not sure if he's going to get back in it or not. Up in the second now goes R2 Beat. Technically R2 Beat is already in front of Hungry Styles there in terms of time, of course, over that 3-second penalty that Styles has got there. But now he's through and got the track position. A long way down the road is Reflections. Reflections coming into Cox Corner, just turn 9. Whilst Roney in turn 5 for R2 Beat. Well, what a drive today from R2 Beat then. After returning after a couple of races away then for himself and for the Alpine team then. Of course, he hasn't started a race then since his win in the Chinese Grand Prix. R2 Beat, this format of racing for R2 Beat, he revels in, doesn't he? He certainly does. And of course, that's how we got introduced to R2 Beat in Grand Prix racing. Of course, he came into this championship He came into ALR as a 100% racer, but of course he's really evolved into a great driver in silver as well. But RTP, certainly his strongest format is definitely these 100% races, which is it's a joy to see, isn't it? And tonight there, he is showing his consistency. It's pretty formidable. But I must say that Reflections has just been a cut above everyone else today in impressive form. So Cirrus Mushroom is keeping up with Jay Hings. We have got a Haas off in the background. I think that is, it's not Equals. Equals is further up the road. Equals is coming over the start-finish line now, whilst I think it was Legends who's having a couple of issues on those tyres there. Soft tyres, you have to treat with a bit of care, don't you? Otherwise, they just do not, they just keep having issues, don't they? Styles may be looking over his shoulder here, but it depends on how well Kiki has kept those soft tyres in play. But of course, Kiki, he just needs to give him 3 seconds there. Lucas Percy is now cut into the back of Equals. So Equals, unbeknownst to me, whilst I've been waffling on, here's the battle then. Equals has kind of fallen into this trap now. Now Vessier and Percy have caught up to Equals. These two seems to have been together for most of the race. Vintage using those new medium tyres as advantage up into 13th. Halsey down into 14th in the Alpine, but Halsey very much focusing on the longer stints in this run. Back on board with Vessier. As this is I think this is the final major play in this race there, and it's going to be, I think it's going to be a very interesting watch indeed. Equals has done double the tyre stint than Percy at this stage then. So I don't think Equals is going to have the tools for the job there to keep Percy behind them. This could be crucial later on in the championship. Yeah, Percy's quite a long way back at the moment in the Drivers' Championship. But of course, this season is an 18-round season now. This is only round 6. Here comes Percy. There he goes. I'm going to do 5th position now. Yes, Equals does not have any penalties there. But, of course, I don't think his 29 lap of hard tyres is going to be able to keep up with Percy. He's only done 15 laps on those tyres as well. Vesey would like to have got past quite quickly here. Cirrus Mushroom there trying to get past, and he is past Jay Hings, but Jay Hings has got up the inside into turn number 3 here, and he is through that. Cirrus Mushroom has had to back out that way, but Mushroom is going for it, and the goodness me, he's got up the inside. Where's he? No, Jay Hings keeps the position, but he's gone wide, and Cirrus Mushroom is going to use the tracks and the hard tyres, but Jay Hings keeps the inside, so Mushroom's going to be forced out wide. Jay Hings gets the high ground, gets the position. Great stuff indeed there from both drivers out there. Torres for 11 seconds back then, so it's an all-out battle royale now in 9th and 10th position there. So I'd say that today's drivers are not going to have to look too over their shoulder too hard, because Torres done 31 laps on those hard tyres. And my word, he's got another 8 laps still on those. Those tyres would have done 38, 39 laps by the end of this one. Golly gosh, I don't think Torrey pays for his tyres. He is a reserve tonight, and I wonder if Racing Bull there have tightened the purse strings there. Here comes Vessier. Vessier's being stuck behind Equals there, which I mean no ill of that. Of course, Equals has done a very long stint on those hard tyres. Is now down in 7th position. Vessier moving up in 6th place. He's now 2 seconds back, and the pressure's on Vessier to keep himself within that DRS window. That 3-second window then, to get himself up into 5th position, which would be a great result for Vessier. Would that be his best result of the season? It would indeed have been getting to 5th position there, boys. They equal his best result of the season with 6th position there. Cirrus Mushroom is a bit further back from Jay Hings on this lap then, so they are not side by side, as we've got a car in front of us. That is Coop in front of us there, as Coop also having an issue a couple of laps ago. He's done 36 laps on his tyres already, Coop has. I forgot to see Coop's tyres there, so he's going to be on the tyres the longest then, and we have still got a number of laps to go in this one. Yellow flag out there, as I think it's when the King Salbers, it is just gone a bit slow. I think it was Knowles just get out of the way there. Knowles down in each position. Hats off to Knowles if we keep going. Hats off for Legends if we keep it going. And Liam has cut that gap down quite tremendously. And Liam will be back in the points momentarily, which is good stuff indeed. Coop, unfortunately, I thought the Cirrus Mushroom had a dive on the inside there. Cirrus Mushroom, and he's going to be quite keen to get past. If Jay Hings gets past, Coop Mushroom needs to follow Jay Hings through here if he wants to keep. Oh, it's Jay Hings gone wide, and that is beautiful for the Mushroom. He is through and up until not finished already, because no, Jay Hings, look at this, and they're going wheel to wheel. It's like Mansell and Senna in 91 there, down into turn 1. As once again, then these two are fighting 2 for Dale then for this ninth and 10th finish there. And I think that Coop will be quite happy with this battle going on in the background there, because I feel that this is helping Coop win there. But I do think that I think the inevitable for Coop dropping down into 10th position there is inevitable. I think that's the word, isn't it? Just doesn't sound right. Vintage, who's done 9 laps on these medium tyres. I reckon Vintage has done a shrewd move here, because a lot of Grand Prix under his belt for Vintage. And Vintage, of course, has got the most starts in bronze history. Then I think he's on 114, 115 starts now in bronze. So incredible stuff indeed there for Vintage. Using that to his advantage, a serious match from Jay Hings. My word, and Jay Hings is not giving this one up, and who can blame him? That great race there. Oh, fantastic. Fantastic stuff indeed there, of course, as we're on lap 60 now, then, as we're into the final echelon to the Spanish Grand Prix. Out of the final turn then, and now then, can Jay Hings keep Serious Motion back? What an incredible battle. It's like Robert Kubica and Felipe Massa in Fuji of 2008 then, albeit then, or 2007 I should say, without the rain of course then. So maybe it's a completely different kettle of fish actually, but never mind. Hopefully get the cut of my due. Vintage is now then now can Vintage get past the Riley. Then Riley had a very good opening stint to this race, but it's kind of unraveled, hasn't it? Ever since there was contact at this corner here, then whether it'd be interesting to hear if Riley had damage in the Aston Martin. But of course, this is Davey tonight for Riley in terms of the Aston Martin team. Of course, jumping in the seat where Jay Hings was, and Jay Hings has moved to Mercedes, and then Jay Hings is right in front of Serious Motion. And goodness me, these two are kicking lumps out of each other, and I don't know how they got the energy to do it then. Incredible stuff indeed, as RTB has homed in on Reflection ever so slightly, but the one stop has certainly paid off for Reflections for starts. I think it hasn't paid off for Equals too greatly though, sadly. Down in 7th position is Equals now, and I don't think he's going to elevate himself up the order there with lack of penalty for sadly for Equals. So I feel that Equals is just too far back to really help himself. And now here comes Coop then, who's trying to bend then. I reckon he's out of Earth's deployment here potentially, because here comes Jay Hings. Here goes Jay Hings, and Coop is weaving a bit on the back straight then. Jay Hings on the outside, gets the position, and through he goes, and somehow they don't drive into each other. Magnificent stuff indeed on very old worn hard tyres there, on very old hard soft tyres there for Jay Hings. Somehow they've all not gone into each other. It's incredible racing how they do that. That's magnificent stuff indeed. Maybe it's just incredible to me because I crash every time. And Serious Motion there, almost losing control of the car. Going into 5 minutes. Look at this, Cooper is just struggling to get off the corner side. This is going to allow Jay Hings to get a bit of a breather from Mushroom, who's been very much all over his gearbox for the last few laps or so. My word, and into Cox corner as well. Look at that understeer. Look at the amount of turn that the Serious Motion is trying to do in that Red Bull. But DRS on that back straight, it's not the case at all. So Reflections and what was it? Oh, contact! As Nosey unfortunately has repeated the. No, it's not. It's Percy. Oh my goodness me! And no shade on Nosey there. I apologise. Of course, Nosey's had a difficult day out there, but it's Lucas Percy who's had issues and it's lost an abundance amount of time. Serious Motion though is now going to get past the Williams. He's going to have an almighty lap then to get himself back into the DRS of Jay Hings. Serious Motion is through. Yellow flag. Percy's off the circle again. Oh no! And I'm wondering, and that's the problem. These Pirelli tyres there. Once they go on, he's damaged. Yeah, well, he damaged the car probably in the final corner. Actually, that final corner has been very precarious tonight, hasn't it? To say the least. A lot of drivers out. I think that we might have to rename that corner or something. Maybe the corner of champions potentially. Well, I'll figure it. Oh dear, that's not good at all. Vintage is still behind Riley there. Percy going to put in the pits. So he might be able to get fast that with just a few laps to go. But Percy, that's not going to be a crumb of comfort, is it? But Equals will be happy with this, though, because, of course, he's elevated himself up the order, and Vesser's on course for his best result of the season with 5th position as well. So hats off to Vesser now. Lovely stuff. My goodness, yeah, there's Percy. That is such a shame there for Lucas Percy there. After coming off such a dominant victory in Bahrain. Now, it's been a difficult season so far for Percy. It's been a bit of up and down there. It's been phenomenal season for Lucas Percy. But no, we thought that maybe it's a wrong strategy called tonight, potentially. I do not know, to be honest, because I do feel that... Oh, I thought he was in the wall there. I do feel that it does depend on where you were on track, which obviously, well, that's kind of the whole point of Formula One, isn't it, really, and racing? But I don't really know what the strategy was, and obviously the winner has won on the one-stop strategy. But I think Reflection, his domination today has been pretty impressive indeed. And he's still got a 13-second gap over himself and RTB. Stars in a superb third position in that McLaren. What a drive from Stars tonight. Then my personal driver of the day potentially for Stars, and along with Reflection, has just been in a class of one. Percy will be out in front of the Red Bull of Liam, who's the final point scorer there, as in the background is one of the Alpines. I think it is the man who's second, isn't it? I think it is the man who's second, isn't it, of RTB? It is indeed, of course, said. So RTB currently in second position at the moment there. With Stars in third position then. Let's go through the order a bit then in the final stage of this Grand Prix with 3 laps to go. Reflections leads on lap 64 with R2B in second position. The gap is 14 seconds. Stars, what a drive from the back of the field up into third position. I wish Stars would qualify because, goodness me, that man is on fire at the moment. Isn't he? Really incredible something. Could he have won this race? Well, 20 seconds back there, you're very much within a pit stop, and also, and that includes fighting his way through the field. Certainly second position easily on the cards. What's that? Oh no! Jay Higgs, he's in the wall, and that's an issue. We got that's a lovely advertisement for Spanish Grand Prix, but Jay Higgs, it's the has he got punctured? Let's take a look front on for the Mercedes car. No, he hasn't. So it's had just a mistake there for Jay Higgs after been an almighty battle of himself in Mushroom. Oh dear, and we got more yellow flags out there. This race is becoming. Is that Kiki? Kiki's also struggling as well. Both drivers have done 17 laps on the soft tyres. I'm wondering if they're just starting to struggle. But look at Vessier. Vessier is now within, he's not within DRS just yet, but with just 2 laps to go. Kiki is going to be under the cosh now for from Vessier. Here is Vessier. It could get better and better for Vessier. And then we've also got Riley, who's now caught up to the back of Tour as well. So this race said we had a bit of a lull halfway through the race, but now all of a sudden it's come alive with just 2 laps to go. Oh, gosh, yeah. Well, I was going through the order, but I don't think we should be going through the order just yet. Back on board with Vintage and in superb top position. He doesn't have any penalties. Riley does have penalties, of course. So Vester is still under 2 seconds away from Kiki at the moment. So currently, as it stands, Kiki is so currently I think Kiki might have been able to stop the rot, so to speak. Then, so 4th position should be fine. As Riley's got some major pace. I think the Tour is going to just have to really dump his battery down that back straight and really just try and keep it calm and composed for the final stages. Percy's at the fast half of the race, and he might be able to get back up to 13th position and catch Halsey, then, who has done 34 laps on those hard tyres. 43 laps for Coop. That's an incredible stint there for Coop. Magnificent stuff indeed. Mega job there for Coop then. I think that tyre tickler today has to go to Coop. What a drive on those hard tyres. But of course, it's so easy to like look back on the race and think, well, maybe I should have done this, that, and the other, shouldn't you? But I do think the one stop, I don't know, to be honest, because RGB done a good job with the medium strategy as well. Vintage just too far back at the moment. Their reflections on his final tour of the Spanish Grand Prix. What's happened? There's yellow flag there. I think it's the Aston Martin. I'm not sure who it was, but there's a yellow flag there just fluttering in the Barcelona breeze, the Catalan breeze here. And here is reflections. And what a performance there from the Mercedes driver. Then, of course, he's had 2 podiums this season. He's only had one podium there, but now, which is a win earlier on. But now he gets his 2nd win for Reflections. Wins the Spanish Grand Prix. What an incredible result there for Reflections. Absolutely magnificent stuff indeed. And really, this is a big bite out of the championship lead that Equals got to them on. Then Equals was damage limitation today, and Reflections is certainly not giving this one up, is he there? And incredible stuff indeed. Equals, former champion, finishes in sixth position. There's got some ball in here. It's Riley and Vintage fighting over this 10th, 11th, 12th position here. And as those tires of Tory, I think, are completely gone here and there. But look at this, it's going to be Riley under pressure instead of Tory here as we go down into the big breaking point of turn 11 or 10. I think this is incredible stuff indeed. Absolutely mega stuff indeed. And on board now with Vincent. I think it might be too late. Then we've got one more corner to go though, which is then the very precarious turn 13. Unlucky for some there. As into the final turn they come now. It's going to be Tory, Riley, and Vintage. Well, my driver of the day is certainly Hungry Stars. He was absolutely superb today, wasn't he? I do wish, though, he would qualify because he was fantastic today, wasn't he? Congratulations to Reflections, says R2B. Let's take a final classification then. Reflections race winner. Fast lap goes to Legend, then takes it from Percy. Driver of the day goes to Stars and overtakes and cleans driver. Also Stars and actually R2B. Reflections wins the second race of the season. R2B finishes second today. Great strategy. Starters from 17th to 3rd. Magnificent stuff. The Kiki pole position, number 10 of his career in the event league, but down in 4th position with Vestier in 5th. Equals in 6th. Serious Mushroom from 19th to 7th. Coop in 8th position. Jay Hinks in 9th and Tari in 10th position. 11th position is Vintage with Riley in 12th. Halsey in 13th with Percy in 14th and Liam in 15th. Marsky retired from the race. Legends gets fastest up. Knowles in a horror show 18th sadly, and Mad Max out of the race earlier on in this Grand Prix, unfortunately. Oh my gosh. Whoops. I don't know what I was clicking on there then. Let's get off that a minute. We got stars in the commentary box actually, and an incredible day for Stars there. Absolutely superb stuff indeed. What a great drive from yourself, Stars there, from 17th on the grid to 3rd, and halfway through that race, I felt you potentially had the pace to win this race. Am I wrong?
I don't know, maybe. I don't know. I had good pace here in Spain because yesterday I also had good pace, but yeah, today I can get through to every car. So, and I want to get an interview with you, so I did my best to get an interview from Ginger Race, the biggest. So.
Well, thank you. I'm very humbled. Thank you very much, Stars. But I got to say, you as the hero today, then, with your incredible drive. I think that this is a question about just your form as a whole, because I've been debating halfway through that race whether this is the best form that you've been in Grand Prix racing. Because I remember you had a good run of form a few seasons ago, but you were absolutely nailing it from consistency from start to finish. And is this the form of your life at the moment?
Maybe this year, yes, because I'm practicing more. I don't do TT times, yeah, time trial anymore. I just do in a Grand Prix, 50%, and I practice like 5 times each week, and that's why I'm in such good form.
You certainly are. And halfway through that race as well, I think that you got stuck behind, I think it might have been Percy and Vessier having a good old battle there. And I
Yeah.
was saying halfway through that race, potentially, if you got past them a bit earlier, you might have been on for second position. Do you think like that, or do you think that actually, no, this is a really good podium today, then this is more points on the board then to really get your season back on track? Because it's been a bit difficult in the, it's been brilliant in bronze, but in the event league, it's been a bit up and down then. But the last couple of races have been superb. So is this a race where you're back on? Do you feel you're back on track?
Yeah, I think so. But I miss a couple of races because of work. That's why I didn't. I think I misses 2 races, and I'm gonna miss a couple of more because sometimes I work on Wednesday, so I cannot be there every Wednesday. So, but I'm gonna try to do the most of the races. So
And I don't do bronze. I want to ask you about bronze. And what is your aim in bronze? And do you think you can get promoted into silver? I think you can, to be honest.
I'm gonna try, but I'm gonna take place by place. Now I'm fifth maybe or fourth. If I can take one by one, and I will see, and then everything can happen. Yesterday I had a good race, and then yeah, reflection took me out, and then yeah, you miss big points. So this is why today I thought I'm not gonna stay behind reflection. I'm gonna give him a big space, like 20 seconds. So
Now I understand why you misqualified. Also as well, I was going to ask something else. Oh yeah, we go into. Are you here next week, Starsman? Because we've got a very exciting. The Silverstone race is a reverse track. Then, are you here next week? And are you looking forward to that challenge?
now next week I'm not gonna be there because I have to work. So it's gonna be the next one. I'm gonna miss the reverse track next week. I'm sorry for that.
I'm devastated. But give us. But who do you reckon's going to have the advantage in that next race then for the
Yeah.
Silverstone reverse?
Yeah, I hope you have a good race next week, and we will see. I think Reflection is gonna win that race again. He's on a good form as well. I think last season he had a bad season, and now he's in bronze, and it is more his league. But maybe next season in silver, that is his space. So I think Reflection is gonna do it.
I love it. Those sort of defense. Fantastic stuff today, Stars. What a drive to third position. I don't think you got driver of the day from me as well. Brilliant stuff.
Thank
Um,
you, thank you.
no worries. And then let's come to R2 Beat then, who I think was a close second for driver of the day today, and the only driver that went for a two-stop strategy in this Grand Prix. I must say that R2 Beat, how dare I question your strategy? But halfway through that race, I was surprised to see you on the soft tires. What was your thinking behind going for a two-stopper today?
Yeah, I was practicing, and after doing some practice, I couldn't make it till 30 laps on the medium. So I was like, I need to stop around 24, 23 laps. And then I knew, okay, it's going to be a two-stop for me. And if I do it a bit aggressively, I don't lose too much time, but a one-stopper wasn't in it for me today.
And so far this season, well, you've only raced twice this season, then, but my goodness me, when you do race, you're always on the podium then. This format of racing then, where we're doing 100% distance, you just seem to be like a duck to water. This is certainly your strongest accolade, I think, in your repertoire. What's the difference between doing 66 laps in one race around Spain and doing 33 laps around Spain?
Between yesterday and today, my tire pressures really helped. Forgot yesterday after qualifying to put them back, so I had yesterday at overeating or Monday, I believe. Was on Monday in silver, yes. So yeah, and I really like the 100%. It's less rushed. You have more time. You can do two strategies because even if I did a one stop and if I could have got reflection, he was so close to me already when I was driving on the softs. So my strategy was to get a gap and then stop again, but he already overtook me before my second stop. So it didn't even matter if I did a one stop or a two stop. He was just the best today.
That's really interesting here as well. So it sounds like that you had to like definitely plan on the fly as well. Do you have a plan where it comes to if potentially if you have a safety car and you might have to come in the pits and change your plan on the fly? And how difficult is it to do that kind of thing, drive the car and also think about your strategy?
Yeah, you need to think, you really need to think about it actively, otherwise you forget. And then the safety car comes and you need to do something. So uh, at one point I was in a position driving on my second set of mediums and I only had new hards. And I thought, oh man, if we get a late safety car, I screwed myself. But in the end, we didn't get it. So yeah, sometimes you, even while driving, you think of, oh, I have a good strategy. And then at the moment you see, oh, I don't have tires left, and yeah, sometimes you need to be a bit lucky with that kind of stuff.
And I'm very excited about next week because we're having the Grand Prix of Silverstone, but it's going in opposite way around, like going in a reverse way around. Is that going to completely change the way that you race around Silverstone, or is it just going backwards? Am I just too simple?
Um, I drive without any assist, so I don't know where to go when it's in the opposite direction. Of course, you know the corners, but I think maybe I have the racing line on next Wednesday because I really don't know if I can put it in my head between now and next week. Because if I don't know the breaking points, it's really dangerous without the racing line.
And we're coming up to about half distance in the championship now, give or take. Then, how has your season been overall? Have you been? I know you've missed a couple of races, but the race you've been here, you've been on the podium. Are you satisfied with your results so far?
Yeah, of course. Every time if I drive, I have a nice race, uh, nice battling with the guys, no incidents. Today I didn't have had zero track limits, so yeah, it's just really a clean league, and it's really fun to drive. Even if you finish fifth or sixth, it really doesn't matter. It's just really fun to drive.
Really good stuff. Well done today, RTP. Great job indeed. Then on another podium, fantastic. And reflections, you getting a second Grand Prix win today as well. It seems like when you go on the podium, you just only win. It's been brilliant stuff indeed. Then, but today I got to say that. It just looked so easy from the front. You was just commanded. It just looked like you could have done anything today. How am I wrong about that? Was it just, or was it not as easy as it looked?
No, it was hard. The first few laps, I was under pressure. There was a bit of a DRS train, and I just couldn't break the DRS. I was burning my battery to try and break it. But I knew as long as I could get to lap 26, 27, I could do a one stop because I'd done that in practice. So that's what I did. I just thought I'll try something different. And I had good practice yesterday, apart from my spin, which I sorry to Styles for that. But good practice yesterday set me in good stead for today.
What do you have to do to get to like your target lap to change tires? Then do you have to change your driving style to look after the tires, or is there other factors in the race to get to your target window?
No, just short shifting, just to stop the wheel spin. But I do a lot of practice, so I'll just put put top the fuel up, heavy car, and I'll just drive. So I'll go out on the hards, do 30, 40 laps, see what the tyre wear's like, and then do the same on mediums on full tank of fuel, and then that sets my strategy. And I think the Mercedes, obviously unrealistic, is pretty kind on its tyres anyway, so it helps.
And could you be is there a chance where you might have been like complacent because towards the end then I think that Archie Beat was about 15 seconds behind you. So um was there anything towards the end of the race that is it easy just to like kind of go into like just like do it out and center and maybe crash at Monaco because you're too far in front, or was you just fully focused to get into the end of the
I
race?
was I was fully focused. I'll never take my eye off the ball in that respect. I've got too much respect for the guys who are racing to even try and take it easy. I was just pushing flat out every lap from start to finish.
And there's me. I was focusing on where Equaz was. I was focusing on where Legends was as well. Two drivers that are around you in the World Championship. Equaz had a bit of a damaged limitation day today. He looked like he struggled in qualifying and then in the race as well. He was just a bit beyond the eight ball. Do you look at your championship rivals and do you think, oh, this is good, this is good, or do you just again, are you just more focused on your own race because it's far too early?
I don't really look at the table. I've only looked at it once this season, a couple of races ago, and that was the bronze table just to see how I was doing. But no, I just take one race at a time. I'm just loving playing this game. it's head and shoulders above last game, which I didn't get on with. So, and I just love racing in this league. I think all the guys have got so much respect and so much pace. It's just so fun to drive. I love it. I look forward to Tuesdays and Wednesdays again. On the last game, I didn't look forward to it because I didn't like it. So no, absolutely loving driving with the guys who we're racing against, and loving being in this league. Hence, over 200 appearances.
Absolutely. And and finally, we've got a decent F1 game for the first time in a while.
Yes, I echo that. Definitely, this game is it's brilliant. The handling model is fantastic. So onwards and upwards for the rest of the season.
And talk about the rest of the season, we got. As you can probably tell, guys, I'm very excited about this reverse Grand Prix next week, and I'm really intrigued about all your answers. Just like I've asked Stars and RTB tonight, what are you looking forward to Silverstone next week, but in reverse? And RTB might be changing his style. Are you going to be doing the same thing? Because it sounds like it's a lot different than just going the other way around the circuit.
I haven't drove it on this game yet, so I'll be doing a lot of practice probably over the weekend. The only reverse one I've done is Austria, so I'm kind of looking forward to it. How I'll do, I don't know.
And I cannot wait. Well done, guys. Reflections on this second Grand Prix win of the season. Superb stuff indeed. R2B on the podium again. And Stars, what an incredible drive there. Drive of the day as well for me. Superb stuff indeed. And as I said, then, like as you can tell, I'm excited about the going around reverse in Silverstone next week. It's going to be absolutely superb stuff indeed. Then, and of course, on the schedule for next week in ALR for gold, silver, and bronze, I think we are at Canada. Oh, I love Canada. It's going to be a penalty fest, isn't it? It's going to be action drama, and it's going to be a lot of intrigue then as we head over the pond to North America. I cannot wait then. And then, as we said, it's going to be the home of motorsport then for 100% next week. Where it's going to be a reverse Silverstone. I cannot wait for that one. Join us for what is going to be a superb week of racing. But for me,